This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Hover. Hover is the best way to buy and manage domain names. In less than 5 minutes, find your new domain, get it up and running, and start realizing your online idea. Try hover.com and get 10% off your entire first purchase with the code GRAPES. That's HOVER.com and the code GRAPES. This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Games. Games' personal gaming environments give you the freedom to game when you want and where you want. Go to gamespge.com to get the new Black Edition Vanguard and for the latest news on the upcoming portable monitors available this fall. Hey everyone, welcome to Rooster Teeth Podcast number 281, special live YouTube edition.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi, YouTube.
This week featuring
Burnie.
Barbara, we're going backwards this time.
Gavin.
Gus and Gus.
Burnie. Oh, you're
Double
fucking
Gus.
I thought I was going to get
Triple
this time.
Gus. So for people who maybe don't watch the live stream typically, this is a special podcast because the live stream is going out to the public. Typically, live streams are just for sponsors at our website. Yeah.
I know that.
Everybody.
So this is going to everybody on YouTube right now.
RVB team screwed the pooch. Delayed today's episode, so we're like, we better do something nice.
Dude, they hate you so much right now. They've been working their asses off all day.
So we're live right now. If people want to interact,
And
they
now
can,
their ass is
they can
off.
tweet us with hashtag
For everyone to see.
RTPodcast. We'll try to keep an eye on it, and if we see anything interesting, we'll pick it out. But chances are you're not going to see
That's
anything
like no
interesting.
effort at all. We'll try to keep an eye on
But
it.
they're not interesting.
Heh.
Sorry. So we're here to talk about science, dicks, and whatever happened to us
I would like
this week.
I've been gagging all day because I just
Dicks?
put up the most disgusting episode of the
really
Slow-Mo Guys that
wish
I've
I
ever
saw
done.
Fucking
Oh,
awesome.
did you post it? Is
I
it live?
put it up. I was rushing. That's why I was so late. I almost missed the beginning of the podcast,
It's
but
live
it went
right
up.
now?
Yeah. It just
That
went
is-
up.
Posting stuff while waiting for other stuff to be posted.
Yeah.
That's how much stuff we're making.
But I've gagged so much today editing it
Post
that
haste.
I'm out of gags. Like I feel like someone could just put a hot dog straight down my throat and I wouldn't gag at
Hey,
this point.
Gavin.
well,
Remember that
well, sure you go.
conversation? Remember that conversation about Carrie and his like open thing here with his nasal shit dripping into
Yeah.
his mouth?
I do.
Oh, that's
Go.
not
Wow,
going to
that's
make you
impressive.
gag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you held that together.
I'm very proud to say that I made Gavin his drink this evening. We're drinking Garajillos. And I'm not saying that correctly, I'm sure. But I offered also to make this
Gyarados.
for everybody, and everybody goes, no, I don't want it. And I said, here, try mine. And after they tried mine, they were like, oh, goddamn.
It's
So
really
you,
fucking
you
good.
like what I did, right?
What'd
I
you
said,
do?
yeah, I'll have one. Make me one.
Yeah, he didn't
And
give a shit.
Just go for it.
What is it? So it's
Jump
like
in.
it's some liquor I'm not familiar with and coffee.
The liquor is called 43. 43. Am I saying that right?
Close enough.
Okay. And then it's
Sounds
espresso
beautiful.
with it. That's it, over ice. So it's
What a
espresso.
cultural episode this is.
It is. And then we're going to watch Dan barf afterwards. So it's just espresso over ice with this stuff in it, and it's fucking awesome.
Nice.
It's so good.
Yeah,
you tried
I
it?
feel
How
like
did-
They
Oh,
already
yeah,
have a picture
they
of
have
it.
a picture
I feel like
of it.
all booze should have coffee in it because they just go so well
I
together.
get worried though. Bernie is not a coffee drinker, and when he drinks coffee, he becomes a fucking maniac.
I've had a couple of these.
Yeah,
He also-
that's not good. Like at the old office at Congress, anytime I saw like a cup of coffee in his hand, I was like, oh shit. I would say like, what's that?
What would it
What are you
cause?
doing?
What would it-
He just gets. He's
Shaky?
like goes through the fucking roof. It's like Popeye with the spinach. He just like.
But it takes a couple hours. And I start to just like vibrate. I don't know what it is. It's the caffeine that is in coffee. It's different than the caffeine. I could drink like
So you do know what it is.
5 Cokes. No, but caffeine's caffeine, right? There's no like different methods of getting caffeine.
There's more of it in coffee than
Like I could
a
drink 2
can of
Red
Coke.
Bulls. I could drink 2 Cokes. If I have 2 cups of coffee, fuck it.
Well, coffee does other stuff too. Like it makes you poo.
It's diuretic.
Is it?
Yeah. But is it does it do that to everyone?
bedside manner.
Does it make everyone poop? Because like I see people at the airport.
No, like if I
drinking
drink coffee, Gavin doesn't poop.
Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean. You smart ass. You see what I mean? The coffee's already taken effect. Because I see people at the airport getting on planes, like ordering coffee and drinking a cup
I
of coffee.
don't understand
I
it.
would never fucking do that. I'm not
Never,
going
ever.
to take a dump on that plane.
I don't
I
even
did
think
it today. I was in a customs line.
What is wrong with your butt?
Fuck the world.
I don't poo when I drink coffee
I
at
don't
all,
think
ever.
it's the coffee that's doing it. It's the mental representation of coffee. Like, I could take a sip of coffee and I need to dump.
Yeah.
And there's no way it's worked my way through. I'll have a couple of sips. It's like, I'm going to poo, like, immediately.
That's I got you that for a gift. Was it for your birthday? I
got
got
him
you a
shit
mug.
for his birthday?
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
the
gonna
coffee
say
makes
that.
me poop mug.
I got him a
He
coffee
got
mug.
mad that I took it home.
I was mad that you took it home.
I use it at home. If I use it here, there's going to be some scummy asshole with it on his desk.
Wow, nice way to talk about your coworkers.
Speaking of our coworkers,
RVB's late.
our coworkers fucked up. We can't have nice things in this office.
What happened?
You didn't see what happened?
Oh, yeah, that's...
So we have two buildings, right? We have this stage where we're in right now, we're broadcasting from, and across the parking lot
This
we
is
have
a
another
two-part
building.
story, by the way. This thing... Okay, go ahead.
So to move back, to like be able to carry packages back and forth, we got a bicycle with a basket.
Let's talk about that, first of all. Why
Laziness.
the fuck do we need a bike to go... What is it, 50
I know.
feet? How far is it?
No, it's at like a good 200, 300 feet.
Caleb does it all the time. I ride my bike to work and I leave it in my office. And Caleb comes into my office, takes my bike so he can ride. You have to walk the other way to get to my office. You just walk across. It takes like a minute.
Listen, we have two doors here.
It's handy if you're carrying a lot of shit and you put it in the basket
Who
to
the
take it
fuck
with
gets
you.
on a bike when they're carrying shit?
If there's a basket, me.
No. And plus,
No?
the bike is never outside. The bike is always inside. So you've got to like open two doors and get the bike through two
Just go down,
self-closing
You
doors.
gotta open doors. How fucking hard?
No,
I'm an
how
adult.
fucking hard?
I can
Walk
open a
200
fucking
feet.
door.
Walk across
Getting
the
that
parking
bike
lot.
outside those doors is a pain in the ass.
Especially if you got a basket and a thing.
Because
and a
those are
bike.
heavy doors.
Well, we don't have. Ultimately, we'll have a bike rack to lock it to outside your favorite
does that
thing in the
mean,
world.
ultimately?
Because they gotta build a fucking bathroom
Ultimately,
first, which is
we'll have a
another
tunnel
store I want to
with a
get
fucking
to.
pneumatic tube that shoots us over to the bungalow.
What? A bathroom store?
Let's put this in
bathroom
perspective.
store.
What are we talking about here? We're talking about the average shopping
Joe?
mall parking lot. Not even that big. A grocery store parking
Yeah.
lot. That's how big an area we're talking about walking across. And that is too much for everybody here.
So we got a bike, which is very well used, and lots of people use.
Everybody uses
not
it.
Burnie,
I agree
apparently.
with you that everybody's an asshole. We're
So,
in agreement.
Over the weekend, Miles sent an email to everyone in the company with just a picture of the back tire of that bike folded
No, he
like a
sent
taco.
an email first before that.
Who?
Miles sent an email
I just
before
said
that.
Miles sent an email.
It was not just the picture, though.
Oh, well, I'm saying he sent an email with the picture.
That was the follow-up.
You know
to
what the
email.
shitty thing was about the email,
No,
right?
it's the same email.
Look what he did
Was
to
It
it.
was the same email.
He
It's
bent
bent.
the tire. It wasn't just him, by the way. Carrie was also involved with this.
So this morning when I got here, both independently, Miles and Carrie came to apologize to me because they knew I was going to be really mad about the bike. And they independently both said, we weren't doing anything reckless with it. We were both just riding on it at the same time. I was like, dude, what do you
potholes.
think reckless means? We weren't doing anything reckless. We were both just on the bike built for one
I
person
don't know
at the
why
same
everyone's
time.
so mad about this. The bike's a piece of shit. Or like, why are we even fussed about it? It
Here-
looks like it's a $10 bike.
Here's what upset me about it.
No, that's like a $300 bike.
Is
What
it?
what upset me about it is, I mean, it's equipment. Shit's gonna happen to it. What upset me about it was that the way the email came across was, "Hey, the back tire on the bike needs to be fixed." And then inside the body of the email was, Carrie and I were riding the bike together. We hit a pothole. We broke the back tire. And it was like, so somebody else fixed this bike that we broke. I mean, that was literally what the email
You gotta
said.
say, you gotta admit that that's way better than what usually happens, which is someone will break something and then just put it back and not tell
Not
anyone.
say anything.
Until
Yeah.
someone
I-
needs to use it and it's broken.
I will give them credit for that. That's why
Yeah.
I couldn't get too mad at them. I was like,
Yeah.
at least they fessed up to
and
it.
also, at least it broke in a funny way.
If Vaughn dropped a fucking hammer on him, though, in the email, she even went right back to the list and CC'd everybody in the company, which nobody ever does unless
She
they're
said she
shame.
was disappointed, which is probably like the worst thing you could say to anybody.
It was like the total parental
Yeah,
smackdown.
I'm very disappointed in you.
Ivana
too.
is our VP of operations. Not many people would know Yvonne.
I'm disappointed in the way you treat our equipment, I think is
Yeah.
what she said.
I was so happy. We had to fill out timesheets at the company.
brutal.
There's this. It takes about 2 seconds to fill out your timesheet,
Absolutely not.
and because it only takes 2 seconds to fill it out, a lot of people let them stack up. You're supposed to fill out one a week,
When
and
do
they
you
get sent to
fill
us
it
in
out?
email.
Well, I only have email on my phone, and it takes forever. You got to be like, and
You
can't
then,
really?
open it
You
on your
don't have
computer?
email on a fucking computer?
no,
You're a
At all?
professional adult.
no, I'm not.
Yes, you don't ever check email on your computer?
It's on my phone.
Really?
Well, I'm not gonna have my emails on my work computer, am I? People go on that all the time.
They don't log into your
Nobody
computer.
goes into your computer.
Who logs into your
Who goes
computer?
into your
All the time.
Don't
If
you
I,
also
like-
have a personal laptop?
I used. Well, I mean, I smashed the screen on it. I used to. There's no point in reading email on that thing now.
You don't use it anymore.
I've done it on mobile.
You
It's
bought a
actually
fucking
hard.
monitor for that thing.
I gotta set it up.
Can you also just like copy the link and like send it to yourself on Facebook and then do it on a computer or some shit like that? To the timesheet.
Sure.
If you
But
want to go
Yvonne
through all
every
that
now and then
effort.
will send out this email saying, "Here's the list of people who haven't done timesheets." It's like a shaming list that goes out, and you'll see some people like 4, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm 2. Who's higher than me?" Okay, yeah, he's got 3. He's an asshole. Today on the last one that came out, for like 6 months I've been filling out time cards so I wouldn't end up on that email, and it finally came out. And it was like I wasn't on it anywhere, and all these people was like, "Get him!" I was like, "Get him!"
Oh,
get
you
him."
weren't on the list?
I was not.
I'm shocked. You're always on the list.
Never anywhere on the list. And my name alphabetically, I was always near the top too.
Why do you have to fill out timesheets?
It's for the state of Texas because what
But
we do
why
now.
do you have to fill them out?
Because I work on different stuff.
But you own the company. Just like Do it auto.
I've tried to tell people the same thing. You come to my next meeting and explain it to people because I've tried this. And
There should be like, it has all the drop down, like each thing, like Achievement Hunter, broadcast, all that. One of them should just be owner. And
Because
it
I
just
said
selects
so.
everything for you.
I could just
Fuck
do
your
administration 100%, but it's a significant amount of hours because if I'm one person out of say 65 to 85 people that work here, depending on the time of year it is, it's for qualifying for incentives for the state of Texas because entertainment and production comes with a certain amount of incentives, and we have to qualify. And a big problem we have is that TV productions and film productions, they're one project, so they all fall under one like lump thing. And even though Rooster Teeth is like a channel and a destination on the internet, we can't get everything to qualify as one thing, and so we're kind of working on that process right now. So like, unfortunately, it's like even like you work at Achievement Hunter in that department of Rooster Teeth, even that like every single show in there is considered a different show. Like we can't even put them together under the Achievement Hunter show. Even we can't even do that. So, but we're working on it. So it's important. So fill out your fucking timesheet.
I already do. I have to do like 4 different things.
You can't
every
be
week.
bothered. You just don't want to show up on that list, do you?
You just got to zoom on your phone and look. And
Have you guys been on the list
drop down.
before?
I've never been on that list.
I was on the list one time because it was detecting those emails as spam for a while for me, so I was just never getting them.
Likely excuse.
That never happened to me, but I totally said it did.
It actually happened to me.
If I was getting mad because she hadn't sent one of those out in months. She hadn't sent one of those shaming lists out, and I thought, is she waiting until I fuck up and I don't submit a thing, and then she's gonna send it?
She probably waited just long enough, and she's like, okay, fuck it. He won't miss it.
I starved her out, dude.
Yeah.
It was like Game of Thrones with a siege.
She was not disappointed this time.
So,
Wait, can we, before we get too far off the topic of the people that work here are assholes.
Okay.
Can I talk a little bit about what's sitting on my lap?
yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Razor, they sent me, I talked to them at PAX East, and they had all new Razors out, and they were very nice and sponsored RTX a couple years ago and gave us laptops, and we've used them all over the place. And so all of a sudden on last week sometime, before I was on a short vacation last week, but a box showed up on my desk, a UPS box, and it was from Razer. And I opened it up, and there's this awesome new laptop in it, but there's no note of any kind. And I remembered that I talked to one of the guys at Razer, and he talked about like how cool the new laptops are and everything like that. And so I've got this laptop addressed to me with no note in it. And so I'm like, fuck, did I just get a free laptop? Because if I did, that's like the greatest thing ever. And so you were there, I don't know if you remember, but I wandered into Achievement Hunter at the office, and I was like really quiet, and I was like, because Achievement Hunter got a bunch of them for their Let's Play stuff at one point, and I said, so did we get any razors today? And everybody goes, no, we didn't get any razors today. Why did we get razors? And then Ryan goes, Ryan's the smartest guy in the whole office. I'm shutting the door. Ryan goes, why do you ask? Why do you ask? I shut the door. So then I go back to my email and I write Adam and Gus and Alan, the two Adams and Alan and Gus. And I write, a Razer laptop just showed up on my desk. Does anyone know why it's here or why it came to my desk? None of them replied back to the entire email chain. They all replied back privately. Alan texted me directly. He goes, oh yeah, what model is that? I go, no, fucker. You don't get to do that. Like everybody. And then Gus literally, I had it like 4 hours, and Gus is like, comes in, he goes, here, I need this for something, and it was gone.
That's not true.
I just got
That's
it back.
not true.
I just got
picked
it back.
up. You were like, here, check this out. It's really cool. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I picked it up because the battery was dead. I was going to plug it in. I picked it up to grab the power supply. He goes, where are you going with that? I was like, I'm just lifting it to get the power supply out of the box, you fucking maniac. He was like so defensive. So now when he tells the story, I was sneaking out of his office with it. I literally lifted it 6 inches to get the power cord out from under it.
Okay, then at what point in my made-up story does this fit in with you going like this? This will be great for Let's Plays. Because you did say that.
That did not happen. I said, can you use it for a Let's Play?
You did. You got all like, his like, I can see his sweaty acidic hands. Like,
I've got my own over there.
Trying to
Why
brand
don't
it.
you ask if you could use it for a Let's Play?
Because
Of course it'll work for Let's Play.
we can capture with it. I don't know if he's going to take it home or what's he going to do with it.
Everybody needs a subterfuge when a new piece of equipment shows up.
Why did you ask in the
crazy.
first
You just think
place?
everyone's out to get your shit. You just have like all these crazy conspiracy theories in your head. You've like built all these narratives about people coming to take your shit.
Adam did the same thing. Adam was like,
Do you admit that you wanted it a little
No,
bit?
absolutely not.
Adam very specifically said to me, he goes, so the new razor came in, is what he said. Not what razor. He said it like it was an assumptive thing that there was a razor on its way and that he knew what it was for. And I was like, get away from it. And sure enough, I found out they were very nice and they sent me a razor to look at for their new model. It's cool. It's a touchscreen.
Yeah, what does it mean to look at?
To look at and then use and then keep and then continue
Talk
to
about?
keep?
Yes. Why do you ask? Why do you ask so many questions?
He's
what are you, a
borrowing
cop?
it.
It's awesome. I like it.
So the crazy thing about that is it's got like a touchscreen on it. And Burnie was like, well, yeah, it's a Windows 8 machine. Of course it has a touchscreen. And I said, I have a laptop with Windows 8. It doesn't have a touchscreen. He goes, don't all laptops have, Windows 8 laptops have touchscreen? So like an idiot, I go back to my laptop and I start like trying to touch the screen. Like,
Oh my God.
it doesn't work.
You'd have been embarrassed.
I did it in private. Now my fucking laptop has like fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. I wouldn't want a touchscreen laptop because I don't want a fingerprint on my screen.
Yeah.
You're not even
Now
using
screens
the
are so
other finger.
glossy. Like you got a
Look at
fucking
this.
fingerprint on it.
Fucking style. Look at that.
What are you doing?
I'm having so much fun over here.
He's fingering his
This is
laptop.
coffee Burnie, by the way. If you haven't figured it out, you are experiencing
This is that kind of
coffee
hero,
Burnie.
Burnie.
That's going to be a great hard cut. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Coffee, cut.
So, going back a little bit here, I want to talk about this fucking bathroom that we no longer have out here.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
So,
Do people know our bathroom situation at the studio? I don't think we've ever
I don't
actually
even know
talked
the
about
bathroom
it.
situation. Why'd they get rid of it?
there's actually in this stage where we are, there's no bathrooms in here. If you need to use the facilities, you have to walk outside, and there used to be a little building out there with bathrooms where you could do your business, but that got torn down, like 3 weeks ago now?
To make better bathrooms.
To make better
I think about
bathrooms.
2 weeks ago.
They were fine.
It's literally been a pipe sticking out of the ground for 3 weeks with no construction started, and today they showed up and put orange tape around it.
And
It's
for
like,
the
why
first,
didn't we tear it down if we weren't ready to start?
and for the first couple of days, the pipe in the ground was just spewing water.
It was,
up into-
it was so gross.
It took out our water too. Like we didn't have any water for a day and a half.
So we're gonna get
Yep.
better. Is it gonna be more bogs in there?
There's going to be, I think,
Yeah.
better bathrooms and a shower, which will be nice for the people.
the
who
old
have to stay
bathrooms are
here.
fine. How
Did
how
anyone besides me ever use the shower at the old office?
No.
I used it. We've talked about it before. When I did the short where I had mayonnaise all over me.
Oh right.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah. We have a couple
Salad
like
dressing.
fringe benefits at the office. We have a
Mayonnaise.
Yeah,
You said it so funny.
You said
Mayonnaise?
mine.
You said mayonnaise.
you did.
mayonnaise.
Yeah, I thought you said mayonnaise. when you said I thought you said mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
March, April, May.
Man.
Mine?
Mayonnaise. How do you say it?
Mayonnaise.
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 I guess I say
Add
mayonnaise.
that to the list of stuff Gus can't say for some
It's
reason.
that way too.
Mayonnaise. Yeah, give me a hamburger. Hold the mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I say mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is correct. Mayonnaise isn't.
I said mayonnaise.
All right, now everyone's too confused. The conversation is Ed. It's gone.
I don't know why I find it so funny. Mayonnaise.
I just say like a man's A's.
What?
That's what I say. I say mayonnaise.
A man says. Eh?
A's of a man.
Mayonnaise.
Man's A's.
So yeah, we've been waiting 3 weeks with no. We have what's called a honey wagon.
We have
which
three
is-
different bathrooms we
which
can
is
use.
a trailer with a toilet in it
That does
Well,
not smell like honey
that
most
smells
of the time.
like the furthest thing possible in the world from honey.
And the
They're
door
very
doesn't shut.
nice portable bathrooms, basically.
No.
No, a door
Yeah,
needs to
portable
close
They're
if
pretty
you
nice.
want a nice bathroom.
It's air conditioned and clean for the most part.
Yeah. If I went to a concert that had
The
that
girls are
nice of a
nice,
bathroom,
apparently.
I would be very happy.
We have 2 stalls in the girls' bathroom.
You do?
Yeah.
There's a stall and a urinal in
The guys just lock each other out. I mean, as soon as you go in there to use it,
But
you just
it's
lock
so
it.
Because
small.
the problem is, as you're walking up, like there's steps to get up there. You open the door before you get to the top step. You're like right eye level with someone's crotch if they're sitting on the toilet.
Oh, that's
And
not
you're like,
true.
You're like lined up with the gap in the door. And so I always look away as I open the door because I don't want to open it and see someone in there.
What are
'Cause
you
would
scared
get-
of?
To see someone's ball sack just hanging there.
You would
What's
just
he
see-
scared of? He's scared of that. That's literally the thing.
yeah,
So you see someone's cock while they're taking a crap.
Yeah. It's
or
so
you see the
awkward.
crap coming out of their ass.
Oh, just stood up with poo falling out.
I don't know. We have fucking animals that work here.
Lord.
So yeah, I do not look when I open that door.
Who would you least want to walk in on?
Anybody.
You've walked in on
Anybody.
You walked in on
Everybody.
somebody.
What?
Did you ever talk about who you walked in on?
Oh yeah.
I think you did.
when we still had the temporary bathrooms out here that got torn down. Well, I guess for a little while one of the locks didn't work
It
right.
didn't show occupied.
Right. So you on the inside you would think it was locked, but it hadn't actually
That's
locked.
the worst guy.
So I walked up to the door one day and opened it, and Lindsay was sitting on the toilet, and her reaction was just to go, "Gus, no." And I was like, I just closed the door, and I was like, "I'm so sorry. It says unoccupied." It was like the most like
Such a Lindsay reaction.
Yes. No.
You know, it was like, I'm sorry, you can't wear white to your wedding now.
Yeah, this is like months ago.
Yeah.
Have you ever
it
had
was
it where you're having a nice, you'd be having a nice calm poo, and someone just rattles on the door, and it makes your bumhole go to scissors.
Scissors?
No.
Like if
the
you're having a
pinch?
nice smooth poo, you'll just snip it, and it's like, for God's sake, this is gonna be a messy
You
one.
get so scared that your butthole like
You
tightens
heard
up.
noise.
Well, you clench because of fear, right? No. Well, no, like if you jump, your ass clenches. Well, or I guess some people shit themselves, which is the opposite. What do you do if you yelp? Do you squeeze your anus or do you blast it out?
Never thought about it.
I've never like tested it.
I've never been mid-log.
Yeah, like, do you shut it off or do you evacuate?
That tightened a little bit.
Tighten their anus.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever been so scared that you did either shit yourself or piss your pants?
No.
Never.
No.
Never.
I
never
pissed
had
myself
either.
laughing before.
You've pissed yourself laughing?
But
Really?
apparently it's
like just a little like tinkle.
Thanks, Mark.
Just a dribble.
Otherwise, I'd be worried.
Apparently in the animal kingdom, you poo yourself to be lighter when you run away.
Yep.
And that's, I think, why humans...
It's also like how you scare off predators who are trying to eat you, right? You just like shit yourself and like, oh, fuck that, it's gross. I'll go find another one.
You know those like bungee jump rides they have at carnivals or theme parks?
Yeah.
I've seen video of
Carnivals.
people who have like shit themselves from those because they got so scared for their life.
If you're that scared of falling, how do you jump?
How do you like? How are you okay with doing that?
Doing what?
Like I would never do one of those bungee jump things.
Just go for it.
Oh, I would do it. There was
I did
a
one.
video on Reddit today of a guy who fell into like a pad, like one of those air pads, and they said it was a 52-meter fall. I actually don't have a perspective on how far that
Close
is.
to 160 feet.
Yeah, 160 feet? Okay. And the way he fell was he just had his feet, his sneakered feet, hooked on the platform. And then just hanging like that. And then he just like kind of like let go with his own feet. And then just fell that whole distance. And he did like a couple flips. And at the end, he was really far away because the camera was pointed straight down from the platform. But like at the end, I was like, how's he going to like, orient himself right so he lands on his back? And it's like he like looked at the last second and then flopped.
I always wonder that when I see people do falls like that.
This guy flipped a bunch of times too.
Like, how do you make sure you don't land on your neck?
You just don't do that ever. Yeah.
Just
I
don't
saw
do it.
clips of a guy that goes down the bungee cord breaks, and then he didn't even hit the pad. Because some of them have those air pads
Right.
underneath it, and he missed that
Oh.
too.
You die?
Nope, just thud. That's it. Just thudded.
Just thudded.
Yeah, it was gross.
What, so he did die?
No, he just
What do
thud.
you mean?
He just hurt himself real bad.
Yeah, he's hurt himself real bad.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's like
Bad case of the
you
thud.
could fall off your own 2 feet and kill yourself, but you could also fall like 100 feet and be probably okay. It's like falling is like a total crapshoot. You don't ever want to take that gamble, but you can. I mean, people kill themselves falling on like ice.
Yeah.
Just don't hit your head.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Or your neck.
Your head or your neck, or your back, or your spleen, or your anything.
Or
your
don't,
dick.
don't land on your balls.
Just
That
straight
might
on
be
him.
really, really painful.
So I finally finished, and I have lied for a while on the podcast and said that I have read all the Game of Thrones books. But this story about falling, because in episode 1 or chapter 1 of that fucking book, somebody falls.
Yeah.
That kid lived in that, and he fell out of a tree.
And that was a long time ago, right? It was like fucking Middle Ages and shit.
Fuck yeah, he was in a coma.
Yeah,
for
but
a
he was
little bit.
paralyzed.
He's paralyzed.
That's
Where
not
do you
real
live?
living.
Well, I don't know that the guy who fell out the bungee jump thing. I don't know that he wasn't paralyzed. I also another bungee jump where the guy goes backwards. You seen those like over a river?
Yeah.
The guy goes backwards, and as a joke, they threw the loose end of a rope at him too. And I
Oh,
They
God.
got-
That's a shit your pants.
I would
moment.
climb up the rope and fucking kill those.
There's
people.
a few weeks ago I talked about that series of videos on YouTube where the Japanese guys go around trying to eat all the hamburgers in LA.
With the wheel where it points.
I went and watched it. It was
Most
awesome.
popular
The
combo.
most popular combo. Fucking great videos. Everyone should watch it if you haven't seen these. They have another video. There's very few of their videos that have English subtitles. Most of them are all in Japanese. But another one of the videos they do have is a series where that one guy, Megwin, like tries to go all day without peeing and then goes and does a bungee jump to see if the bungee jump makes him pee or not.
Oh my
Does
god!
it?
That's a good way to hurt yourself.
I'm not
by
going to
the way.
spoil it, but he just drinks water, like a ton of water. Then he dresses up in a Spider-Man outfit, and he's just like dancing around, waiting like to try to get on the bungee jump to jump off the bridge.
Awful. Sounds like a good way to burst your bladder.
Fucking great. They have a ton of great videos.
Yeah, like I don't know. In that situation, would you be like tensing on purpose, or if you're just gonna let it all go?
Yeah.
I
I
feel
guess
like
the
you'd
point
be
sometimes
tensing.
if I hold it for too long, it's hard to start peeing. Do you ever get that?
Yeah, because it's
You have
like
to like
that pain almost.
get everything back into flow.
This is a great podcast.
You got to get it all settled.
I'm trying to read it, but actually, it's actually a really, really bad idea to hold your urine that long, or also to drink that amount of water, because you can poison yourself with water.
You can.
I'm pretty
It's
sure.
a crazy amount of water, though.
Well,
right?
I think I don't know. I think back when we were first starting the podcast, it was that lady who killed herself trying to win a Wii.
Wii
You
for a
remember
Wii.
that?
Or
Yeah,
Oh, right.
Hold your Wii for a Wii. And it was when Wii's the first year they came out, Nintendo Wii, they went a year with low hardware like inventory to where you just couldn't get them. They were nowhere. You just couldn't buy a Nintendo Wii. They were in such demand. And some radio station held a contest where it was hold your Wii for a Wii, and it was a contest like 8 people. They would all just drink water, and the last person to break and go to the bathroom, they won the Wii. And this lady died of water poisoning.
That sounds really illegal.
Yeah, it was a big problem. I mean, it was one of the things, like, we talked about it with the Immersion podcast at RTX, but like the banana thing, it's like, we were like, I was trying to think of all the weird shit that could be going wrong, and when the interns were peeling all those bananas, I was thinking, this might be not something we're aware of, but handling a lot of bananas could be a bad thing.
Right, it's like a thing you hear about later. Like, right, of course you could peel bananas, but if you peel 1,000 of them, you're going to get banana peel poisoning.
Yeah,
Or-
or
Yeah,
something
their
like that.
fingernails were black.
Their whole hands were black from that stuff. It was really bizarre. They were like oxidizing. But anyway, so but we looked it up on Google, and apparently it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Did you know that pineapple can dissolve your mouth if you eat too much pineapple?
Dude, I ate a can of pineapple one time as a kid and drank the juice out of the can. I've never had that bad a stomach ache in my life. I thought I was going to fucking die.
Pineapple juice, though, apparently makes certain things smell good or taste good.
Come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
And
go back and tell my
vagina.
8-year-old self that.
Listen, little Burnie, you're going to have some sweet jizz later.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Vagina as well.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
See, educational. This is the science portion of the podcast,
Yeah.
Sure.
and kind of dicks related.
Later on, when you blow your load at the Sears catalog lingerie section, it's gonna smell like air freshener.
You're going to get a craving for pineapple all over again.
You know, the stuff that Gus and I, as younger people, and Gus, I'm sure you were the same, but I was, stuff we had to do for porn was pretty.
Yeah.
You didn't jerk it to some clothes, did you?
Oh,
Sears catalog?
you absolutely
Yeah,
did.
absolutely.
No
imagine,
question.
imagine a world with no internet. It's like,
can't.
this is the best you've got. It's either this or a scrambled television signal where you might see a boob.
Yeah,
Maybe.
or VHS porn. Or porn you find in the woods, which we've talked about before.
What was like the most
Forest one.
PG image you've ever jerked it to?
Oh man. Let me think about that.
Okay. Gus,
Let me
do you
think
know?
about that.
PJ, it's
Offhand?
got to be something catalog related.
Catalog definitely.
Yeah, because like when you're a teenage boy, you just want to jerk it constantly like that. I mean, and
There we go.
Pointy bras.
Excuse me, I'll be in the honey wagon.
13-year-old Gus would be popping a raging boner right now.
Gross.
It's got to be something
You're
like that.
Patrick in there laughing. He knows our pain. He knows our pain. I don't know. I can't think what would be the most PG image. It would be awful. I mean, I'm sure some G-rated stuff.
Have you ever done it to a non-human?
You've asked this question on the
cartoon?
podcast before.
No.
Like,
Maybe like
Jessica Rabbit?
or like Jessica Rabbit's human.
She's a
Cartoon,
cartoon.
She's got that
She's a
cartoon.
cartoon
She's
human.
animated.
She's a drawn human.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't?
Cartoon.
All right, then yes.
Someone drew my girlfriend. That's not weird. What do you mean?
You've never been aroused by a drawn image before,
No.
like a painting or anything like that.
You haven't?
He's the one who doesn't think Pixar movies are emotional because it's just drawings.
Yeah.
No, I
Or just
freely
polygons.
admit that I have. Freely admit that.
You jerked it
Jessica
to a
Rabbit,
Pixar
sure.
movie.
Jessica, I'll go Jessica Rabbit.
I have freeze framed as a younger person. I'm pretty sure I freeze framed
As a younger person.
Jessica Rabbit quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like image still by still through the VHS tape.
Where like a pause screen would be like.
Yeah.
Once I learned what the A/B function does on a
Well, what are you doing there?
on a DVD player, it's on the remote. This is the remote.
Oh, you talk about the loop.
Yeah, you can set an A point and a B point, and then just loops back and forth between that. Yeah,
So was there a lot of like.
Jesus.
sure, absolutely.
I'm learning a lot about you guys that I don't want to
sometimes
know.
they
I
make it
should
too
not
long.
have asked.
The
Three
world
loops.
was a different place before the internet, let me tell you.
Oh my god! I just came up with the ultimate question,
Oh, great.
Barbara.
Yeah.
Have you ever fudded yourself to
Why can't you just use a normal word?
one of the penises that you've drawn?
No, absolutely not.
Are they based on anything? Like
No.
what's your basis? Like, do you see like a lot of imagery of penises growing up?
No.
Or did
Is it one
First boyfriend
penis
had like a
in your mind that
mammoth.
you draw over and over, or is each of them a different penis that you've seen during the course of your
It's
life?
consistently circumcised, that's for sure. Because, that's my experience.
Okay.
otherwise it'd be blasphemy. Couldn't do it.
Have you ever given an uncircumcised penis a draw?
Nope.
You should try it. See how it goes.
Give it a
Just try putting like a turtleneck sweater on one with the turtleneck up over the
So wait, so Gavin, if you've never been aroused by even like a painting or a drawing or anything like that, what is the most PG image that you've ever been aroused by?
Man, that is the blankest stare I've ever seen.
I did the same thing though. It's like you're like going through a big
I
catalog,
don't think so. Also, when am I going to be looking at paintings anyway?
or like a
Not
drawing or
Necessarily
something.
like fan art or something, or just like people's like
Fan art.
no, not like you know what I mean. People's drawings of
Or a girl
characters or
who
something.
has drawn herself getting fucked by a tiger. Hey, there's
Oh,
Jessica Rabbit.
whoa.
There you go.
Yeah, come on, that's hot. Jessica Rabbit?
R.I.P. Bob Hoskins.
There's no way to make it weird.
He probably
Yeah,
jerked it
that
too.
made it weird. That's what made this conversation weird. Absolutely.
What was it? I want to know. I want to know Gavin's answer.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's happened.
We've
Really?
admitted to jerking it to a fucking catalog. You gotta give us something, Gavin.
I did nothing to it. I didn't do anything to any
Is
catalog.
it always naked women, or is there like sometimes girls in bikinis
I don't
or
even need
lingerie?
it. I got the bank.
Before you had the bank.
You didn't always have the bank. You had your posters on your wall.
Yeah.
That was just to prove to his parents that he wasn't gay.
Couple of lesbians going at it. Yeah, I'll go to that.
I'll go to that.
Why were you? If you're, I mean, you got the posters. You put the girly posters up on your wall because you were worried. Did your parents actively tell you that they thought you were gay, or you thought
No.
that they thought you
I
were
didn't
gay?
even think they thought that. I was like, this will prevent that. It was
Okay.
preemptive. I was like, I mean, I should prove that I'm not gay to them, maybe.
Why is that? To your parents.
I'm befuddled.
I'm befuddled too. I never asked this question more directly than
I did.
it's come up before. So you were worried that you were acting in a way, or you worried there was a natural progression as an adult that your parents would just assume you were gay, and that you had to get posters to prove that you weren't.
Well, I never had any girls around, so I was like, oh, maybe they think I'm gay.
Well, how old were you back then?
And what-
when
what-
we had
but
the
what-
posters?
13, 14.
I don't have a
because you're
girlfriend.
fucking 13 years old.
There's no Tinder back then.
It
So-
wasn't like I was worried about it or anything. I was just like, that was my choice for buying them.
It really was.
Yeah.
So did you go to the store?
I also bought a poster with a ton of booze on it because I didn't want them to think I was a loser either.
You don't
Your
want your parents
parents-
to think you were a loser.
Yeah.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
A poster with tons of booze. You're like, the poster with the booze, they're not going to think I'm losers. I'm somebody because I have a poster with
I'm
booze.
13.
Yeah.
They're going to see how much I love booze.
I'm a somebody.
I'm not a loser. I'm drunk and sexually active at 13. I'm a fucking winner.
Okay.
All right.
A shrug. That's what we get.
Fair enough. That's all we get from Gavin. But anyway, I was going to say that, we probably talked about the same thing when the Win a Wii by Holding Your Wii contest came up. But Jeff Probst, the guy who is the host for Survivor, which I think Survivor's still in the air.
Yeah, and he
Yes.
hasn't aged a bit since
Well,
that started.
he had a urethra problem or something along those lines because he would be on set for so long and he would hold his pee for so long that he actually hurt himself doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that he was on the Howard Stern show and he was talking about it. It was about the same time that Johnny Knoxville talked about how he broke his penis.
yeah.
Yeah. He had
In
to
some way.
self-catheter for
And he
a
has
long
to
time.
catheter himself every time he wants to go to the bathroom. At least he did back
He
then.
broke his penis?
He did. He messed himself up.
On a bike, I
Yeah,
think.
he
Yeah.
was up in the air over a motorbike and he fell. I think the handlebar went up right up the crotch.
I like pushed his knob in.
Yeah.
I don't even have a penis
And
and,
it was
I'm
like
in pain.
It was like years that he had to self-catheter. I think it was like 3 or 4 years that he was going to have to do that in order
I'm
to
glad to
prevent
hear he
scar
doesn't
tissue.
have to do it anymore. if
Yeah,
that's
I
the case.
assume he's done. But man, that was it was rough.
Hey, I'm gonna go to some questions from the
From the
Twitter.
YouTubes.
Did you live in a frat house and you had to prove you're cool to your folks? What does that mean?
Like,
Well, you can't just read the first question you see. At least
What's that?
vet them a little bit.
well, here,
What's that?
let me at least mention this while you're looking there for questions. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Games, or as we like to call them, Games. They've got a couple of new products. They don't have anything for me to say, so I'm going to mention some of their new products. They've got available fall of this year. They've got a new 15.5-inch LED display. It's got HDMI dedicated input, 720p backlit display, and it's powered by USB. We actually have one of the prototypes here. We had these at RTX. If you came to the event, you saw them.
This thing's dope, man.
It's just basically a monitor that's USB powered. So if you have a console, you just plug the USB into your console and get power like that, and then plug HDMI into it. This thing's fucking awesome.
How much is it?
Weighs 2.5 pounds. It's not out yet. It comes
Oh.
out this fall, so there's no pricing on it. They've also got a bigger version of this. It's a 24-inch. That's a 1080p display. That one has two HDMI inputs. It's got built-in speakers.
But as long as you have
subwoofer
USB
output.
power and an HDMI connection, that's a display.
Yes, this 15-inch. The 24-inch requires power, but the 15-inch just requires HDMI and USB for power.
Yeah,
Absolutely getting one of those.
Absolutely, there's no question.
This thing is fucking great. Like I said, it weighs 2.5 pounds for
We
the
used
case.
that recently.
Yeah, we used it. We were filming some podcast Let's Plays,
Yeah.
and we were using it. This thing's fucking great.
It was awesome.
And like I said, they got the 24-inch one, and they got their new black Vanguards, replacing the old blue ones for carrying your system around. Check them out.
Xbox
Games.
One fit in that.
Definitely check them out. That's a product we've used over and over again. I forget where we were, but we were all just recently telling the story of when we shot the Gauntlet. Maybe it was on the Gauntlet panel at RTX, and how the week we were shooting Gauntlet 2, Season 2, was the same week that GTA 5 came out.
We were all playing it on
We were all
games.
playing it. We all had our games cases there.
Our what
Games.
cases?
Games.
Games.
So we had a pre-roll ad read for. That was the 24-inch display. We had our pre-roll ad read before the podcast started, and I did one normal read where I said games, and then I did another read where I said games. Every time instead of games. I think we used the regular
That
one.
came from a YouTuber, right?
I think so.
He said games.
I think their websites. I forgot to
think-
say it's games GAEMSPGE.com.
See, when I say it, I say.
GamesPGE.com.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
just-
you.
I feel like you should
Singular.
say it that way because if you just say games, people would think it's spelled games.
GamesPGE.com.
You'll be like, games.
Yeah.
I say it like games. That's how I say it. It's like, did you ever see Raising Arizona?
Yeah.
It's like Holly Hunter, which goes, everything's games. When she says it like that, that's exactly.
Why does she say it like that?
I don't know why she says it like that. I don't know. Raising Arizona is such a fucking great movie.
Should someone compile all of the out of place dialogue from movies?
No.
Just like where people just say it weird.
There'd be
Be
way
a
too
good
much.
compilation. It doesn't happen very much. It happens like once in a movie sometimes.
Sometimes.
I'm trying to think of another example, and I can't. Can you think of another one?
The one that you were talking about in The Godfather or something.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. I talk to Bazzini. It's the worst example of ADR ever. And if you go watch, I think it's The Godfather 2. It's Mo Green, and he's they're talking about Las Vegas, and the Michael Corleone family's coming out there, and Mo Green sits down. He goes to say something to him, and they overdubbed his dialogue for whatever reason. Maybe they had a mic pop or something, and it's like they just got some dude to do it, and it was just like it's one of the worst things ever in one of the most beloved movies of all time.
You might be surprised. It's probably him, but just in a different room, and that can totally change
Yeah.
the sound of a voice.
I talked to Bazzini. I think we definitely played it on the we linked it on the podcast at one point.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah, I made everybody in the room listen to it.
It sounds like he's in a swimming pool with no water. All
Yeah.
of a sudden.
And there's like, I mean, you get away with so much with movies back then because movies were theatrical, and then that was it. I mean, really, it was that there was no cable TV in the like late '60s, early '70s when
Yeah.
stuff like The Godfather came out, and they might go to network TV at some point, but by that point, I guess they didn't really care anymore. Like in the scene, I think it's which one has the Cuban Revolution in it? Is that Godfather or Godfather 2?
2. That's 2.
They're burning shit in the street. There's stuff. I think there's like tape on the camera lens, and it's just like blocks half the view of it. Nobody gives a shit.
It could be also. Was it maybe matted out in the theatrical release? Like I know that was.
That's also possible.
That you have seen that in some movies. Like if you watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure on TV, I don't know why this is my go-to. If you watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure on TV, the scene where he's pulling the chain out of the bike, you can see the chain going up from the bottom, from the ground up through the hole. But when it's matted for theatrical, you don't see that.
Yeah,
They
the
don't cut
aspect
that off
rate-
for TV.
What's that?
They don't cut it off.
Right. They just
the
remove the
aspect,
matting.
It's like when you're working in Premiere and there's title safe and then there's TV safe. It's just like some TVs, especially it depends on what TV you watch it on too. It actually shows more of the picture than what's intended.
I've been trying to figure out 4K this week because we have a new 4K Phantom, and I don't know the resolution. There's no like standard resolution for 4K.
3840 by 2160 is the most typically used one.
But that's only for consumers. Like
Correct.
industry 4K is like 4096.
Yeah,
or something.
4096.
Yeah. I don't know which one to shoot at.
The consumer one is just basically 1080 double. So 1920 times 2 is 3840, and then 1080 times 2 is 2160. And then the other one's 4096 by, I want to say 2536, I think. No. That might be it. I don't remember.
There's too many.
Yeah.
And then there's all the different ratios like 1.85 and all that stuff.
Or 1.77.
I fucking
1.9.
hate when there's a new thing and they're not smart enough. They're not smart enough. They're not smart enough to make a
SMRT.
standard for it.
Well, it's kind of like that with HD at the beginning when
Right.
they had 720p. There was 1280 by 720, or there was
720i as well, wasn't there?
there was also like
Oh, I don't think so.
no,
no,
1080i, 1080p, and then 720p.
but then there was like 768 or something, like a slightly higher than 720.
Oh, it was 786, I believe.
786.
Or 760. No, you're at 768.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just annoying. Just pick a bunch of pixels and everyone use it for Christ's
Just use
sake.
it. Yeah. It's like the difference between like PAL and NTSC. That's the dumbest distinction ever.
Yeah, and that's
So
still
dumb.
around. Like
Still
frame
around.
rates are still different, even though HD is 1920 by 1080 everywhere.
My car's like that. When they were deciding, like, everyone was deciding, like, what they were going to make their plugs for electric cars, they're like, nope, we're doing one plug, that's it. One plug, everybody's on it. Same plug for everybody. Tesla's like, okay, nah. They got their own
Apple.
plug. I have an adapter for everything.
I am so nervous parking next to your car
Why?
because I'm just scared that if like I open my door too hard, I'll like ding your car or like accidentally bump it. I'm just like so overly
That's a good
cautious
thing.
when I
You
park.
won't
next
notice.
to
Just
your car.
drive off.
Hey, who's the asshole who parks his truck, like, right in front of our
That's someone
building?
from the building next door.
I
to
don't
us.
know. It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm going to park my car sideways in front of their doors.
Gus
You
said
did
that,
the other day.
Gus said he gets here.
I'm glad somebody noticed. I did it for like half an hour.
To
And
be
then
a
you feel
prick,
like an asshole.
No, I was mad, and I was like, okay, I literally parked like in front of their doors.
it was just as bad as the truck, but like this. So
Yeah.
you couldn't even, like pedestrians couldn't even get past it almost.
right.
Such an asshole.
It's good. I approved. I was like,
There's a
that's
guy
funny.
who just parks his truck like basically on the sidewalk. Is what he does.
It's not a real parking spot,
No.
and it just blocks the walkway between the doors and our
It's
cars.
the space that a car would use to drive around the parking lot.
yeah, that we.
And
Yeah, I
can
want to
parks in
like
it.
chalk it off and like write a space that just says asshole.
But you said that you get there before that guy, and that you should park in
yeah,
that spot.
I almost did it this morning, except I'm not driving my normal vehicle. I would much rather park with my normal vehicle, because that I just feel like if I park this other one, it's just gonna get towed or something.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
because I feel like he
my
wouldn't see
other
that.
license plate's on file with AFS. They know it's my car,
Oh,
so I didn't want to just park this one like an asshole. Just
then
leave
he
it
would
there.
never see that other car again.
That's true. I could do that.
Was the Warthog on file with AFS?
No, and it's not here anymore though.
There's something that came up this week that I really want to talk about.
Okay.
If I went to Patrick's office and I said, Patrick, can I put this stuff on the set? And Doug goes, no, give it to me, and I'll remember to put it out when the podcast comes around. And sure enough, I came and it's sitting here. So when I got this package for this thing, I had another brown manila envelope on my desk. And this is a letter that I got. I opened it up, and it's from the Baltimore Orioles, which is a baseball club.
Oriole.
Orioles. And they sent me this, and they sent me the
Sounds
schedule for the Baltimore Orioles, and some stickers, and a notepad, and a pen. And the letter from them on official Baltimore Orioles letterhead says, Dear Mr. Burns, thank you for contacting the Orioles. As a token of our appreciation for your support, please find some small team items enclosed. Thank you for your dedication to the Baltimore Orioles baseball team. For Orioles tickets, go to this place. We hope to see you at the yard. Signed, the Baltimore Orioles.
When did you contact them?
I didn't. So somebody's trolling me by writing fan letters in my name and with my address to other organizations. I fucking love this. This made me laugh because now I have a bunch of Baltimore Orioles shit that shows up at the office, and I don't know what to do with it.
Well, good luck, because you're about to get one from every fucking major league team
Yeah.
in
I got a sticker.
existence.
I got a sticker.
Hey, it's nice to know that
fucking
they
funny.
acknowledge
your
their
laptop.
fans.
That's all right. I'm gonna put a
You've
Baltimore
just
Orioles.
invited a world of clutter and just
Yeah.
shite and bollocks.
Yeah, this is another one of those things like hard cut to 3 podcasts from now. I made a huge mistake. Like I can already see it.
Yeah, I know. And people will sign me up for mailing lists and shit like that. I'm
You're
sure.
gonna put that on the razor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna cover. Okay, I thought you
Play
were
some
gonna
games.
cover the logo.
Fuck, I'm not gonna cover the logo.
That's
They
gonna be
sent me-
upside down to everybody.
They
now.
sent me. Oh, Barbara, what are you fucking
never
dealing?
mind.
Well, I'm a professional here. Hey, what's up, Baltimore Orioles?
You
Matt.
showed me.
I
Fuck.
made a terrible purchase the other day. I want to bitch about.
Is it expensive?
Kinda.
How much?
$140.
It's not so bad.
I bought. Hey,
Richie Rich.
I bought one of those like a retro gaming system. It like you can play like a whole bunch of old
Like a retro duo thing.
right. You can plug old cartridges into it and old controllers and play
That's a duo.
old games, and it's like upscale to 720p. I was like, great, you can capture. Oh, there it is. You can capture gameplay from it. I used
Controller
it
stuff.
for about 3 days, and like all the pins on the inside that read the data off the cartridge, they all just started breaking and falling out.
So Meg had a similar problem. She had a Superboy, right?
Superboy is a handheld SNES, Super Nintendo.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
And yeah, it broke immediately. Like it overheated or something.
Yeah,
and broke.
I never write to companies to tell them when I'm upset with a product. I wrote them.
You did?
I was like, listen, even my name was like, I never write this.
Well, you
Like,
had plans
I
for that
can't
thing.
believe how terrible the construction on this thing is. Like it wouldn't read my cartridges anymore. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? I looked in it, and like it was missing teeth. Like all the silver
Jesus.
things were just missing. I was like, how the fuck is it going to read a cartridge? It was literally, I used it for less than a week.
Was it good while it worked?
It was shit. I don't know. This has like tainted my view of it, and now I'm just like pissed off.
This is
about
the thing
whole
you were talking about that does. You were talking about the patch. It adds anti-aliasing to old games.
Yes,
which makes them look smoother than they should.
It's fucked up. It's
bollocks. How could it do that? Is it like is it have like a processing chip that does that inside?
It must.
Yeah,
Because it's also
just
upscaled to
anti-aliasing.
720p.
What
so
does upscale even mean though? It just plays it at 720.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Why are you so confrontational?
Why is that a feature? I could blow it up to 4K. It's gonna look like shit. Well, how does that look good?
But coming out of your original console, you couldn't do that.
You also don't want to play it on a 4K TV. If you had that, for instance, you would want to play it as like a little square in the middle of your TV.
Says
You'd want
you.
what?
I said says you.
Yeah, it says me. That's true. I did say that. But you would want it to have to fill your whole screen. Even if it looks like shit, it would. You'd want it to fill your whole screen. Most people would.
I don't
Right?
understand your point.
So like if it's running at native resolution, it looks the equivalent up-res at that resolution.
Listen, you.
But
This
why is
easy
there
to
something that
understand.
needs to do that? Like if I plug in a Super Nintendo to my HD TV, it fills the screen. It's
It
not being
upscales it.
upscaled.
Yeah, it is upscale.
It is upscaling it. What are you talking?
But are you saying like upscale is just like use 1 pixel but use 4 pixels for that?
Well, where else is it going to get the pixels? What does that mean?
But isn't upscaling like a process where it like tries to see what was there and like make it look good?
I think
as
I think
opposed
you're-
to just stretching it across more pixels.
No, I think you're confusing remastering with upscaling. I think there will be an algorithm that tries to make it look better, like with anti-aliasing or
Right.
smoothing. All that shit sucks.
Is upscaling just stretching?
I believe
straight up?
upscaling is just stretching.
Like
So-
if you used an iPhone app on an iPad, when it stretches it out to fill the iPad, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now on an iPad they make iPad versions.
Yeah, but I
Sometimes-
just talking about if
sometimes
you're
they
running the
don't.
iPhone.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like
Yeah,
TOS because
it
it's
looks like
stretched
TOS.
across too many pixels.
It's been upscaled.
If you plug the Super Nintendo into your TV, what would it do?
It would stretch it. Like your TV tries to run it at 480.
But stretch across the whole pixels.
Right.
So that's upscaling.
This runs it at 720, and then fills it. So your TV doesn't have to step down to 480.
have the
don't
whole
see
fucking
how that's a
internet right
different
here.
thing. If your Super Nintendo goes across 1080p pixels, and then the other thing makes it 720, how is that any different?
It looks different. I don't know what to tell you, Gavin. It looks better. It does.
Anti-aliasing smooths out the jagginess.
I know what anti-aliasing is.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What is the limit of your knowledge here? Just the upscaling part? Let's focus on what,
don't know
let's focus on
people
what you
mean
don't
when
know.
they're like, oh, it's an upscaling DVD player.
But
Every DVD player makes it the full screen. I don't understand.
no,
what
there's algorithms that they have to try to make it look better. Like it tries to like
right,
fill in
and that's why I was
mush.
talking about the extra chip that it might have to do that.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure there's something. I doubt his thing where all the teeth fell out in 2 days. I doubt it has that.
Who knows? It didn't have very good of anything apparently because it
Yeah.
fucking broke, and I stuffed it in a box and
I was
shipped
really
it back to them.
excited for what
You
we were
shipped
gonna
it
use
back?
that for.
I never
Yeah.
do that. I can't be
I
bothered.
normally don't, but I was so angry.
All right. What is
I was like,
upscaling?
I will send this fucking thing back, and someone's gonna have to deal with it. That's all I cared about. I had to deal with this bullshit. Someone else is gonna lose time and waste time because of this now.
It's like how you dealt with your washer machine.
It's a robot.
Yes, fucking just
Wait.
roll it under the dock.
Yeah.
Like fuck you. You deal with this.
Someone else's problem.
Washing
Upscaling
machine.
is the automatic conversion of a low resolution image or video to high definition resolution, usually carried out by high definition televisions. Upscaling or redimensioning an image. Redimensioning. This is all just like it's like scaling up.
Fake words.
Can lead to resolution issues. Go fucking figure. Multimedia such as images or videos in standard definition have a lower resolution than that or images of a high definition quality. Optimizing the images after conversion depends on the hardware being used. So this basically says everything we just said. Is that yes, it just stretches it, and then sometimes there's some hardware and an algorithm in there that tries to make it look a little bit better than what it's supposed to look like. Like instead of like block, it just like blurs and smooths those, so you end up with like a muddy image as opposed to a chunky image. So, but it's all
What do
just-
you want? Mud or chunks? That's all it boils down to.
It's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah.
I mean, basically. Yeah.
Water chunks.
It looked good when it worked.
Do you think Gamps will ever make a TV for their retro consoles?
Well, I don't think so because retro consoles typically we're looking for a 480. Like you're talking about like a quality old CRT.
Or just a 480 or 360 TV where it just isn't stretched at all, it looks good. Like, because stuff doesn't look good anymore. Like, old stuff looks crap. It looks worse than it did at the time.
Well, yeah, because you're looking at it on an HD TV now. Barbara's broken for some reason.
He's like, "Oh, games."
I have no idea. We must have missed something.
I missed it.
We're over here just saying, no. We just love saying
But
it.
so quietly that only 2 of us could hear it.
And only the thousands of people watching the live stream right now.
So I went out of town this weekend,
Brag about it.
and when I came back, I dealt with something I have never dealt with before, but you probably have. And that is, I went through customs at the Austin airport
Oh,
and I wouldn't even know where that would be.
They have customs at the
There you
Austin
go.
airport?
Yes, they do. It's a hallway that I've never seen.
Isn't it underground?
Yeah, you go down and you go down the totally
I've never
side
gone
hallway.
through it, but I asked Dan about it because
You
I was
never flown
curious.
But I
a
thought you-
direct flight?
I flew direct to London.
To
but then
London.
I came. My flight got changed on the way back. I went to Hungary instead.
Oh, right.
fucking
And then you
brag
can't.
about
There's
it.
no direct from Hungary
Did you
flight.
get something to eat?
Barbara, stop it. Yeah, I think they built that because of the F1, like all the international travelers that are coming into town.
Dude, customs go through customs in Austin.
Is it good?
Oh, it's so great.
How
They're
many people are there?
They're like, first of all, they set it up like they've seen other customs places before, and they're like, yeah, there's like a lot of big like long lines, so let's just make everybody wait in a big long line. But then when they get to the front, they're like, hey, where's your what's the passport? Give me the passport thing. Like, here it is. And they're like, okay.
Do you have meat?
Where'd you come from? I said Mexico, and they're like, oh. You look okay. Come on. I mean, they were just like, there was nothing. It's like,
Nice
you're not
tan.
like a,
Come in.
like you're not like a bad guy, right? And I'm like, I'm a good guy. And they said, okay, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just imagining all the scary border people that I see in like Dallas and Chicago, but just replaced with a bunch of hipsters who don't really care.
They don't give a shit. They don't know. They just like, yeah.
That is like the worst. One of the worst things in the world is getting off of an international flight, like at a big airport like LA, because you know there's hundreds of people on your flight, there's hundreds of people on other flights, and just watching them all try to rush to get to that line, because you know if you walk fast, you can save 40 minutes off of your waiting line.
I will sprint.
Yeah,
I did it today because I came through customs today, and I said, Ashley, I said we're supposed to go through this line here. We're getting our bags. I said you wait right there at the entrance to it. I will get our bag off the carousel. As soon as I grab it, start walking in that line.
Yeah.
And I will catch up to you. And it's like, it probably saved us 30 minutes, just 15 seconds of work doing that.
The Ottawa airport is great because you actually
is that
don't
it?
have to get your bag before.
Yeah, that's it.
That's so sad
It's
looking.
tiny.
Yeah, that's shitty little Austin's Customs.
Austin's.
Austin's
Austin's.
Customs.
For those who haven't traveled internationally into America, usually if you fly to Dallas or New York or Chicago, there's just a whole line, maybe like 50 to 80 of those stalls.
yeah, and thousands of people
And thousands
waiting to
of
get
people.
through that line.
Everybody who mans those stations
Is
is
annoyed.
in service of the country, but they're a bit of an asshole. I think they have to be.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to like ferret out people who are here to do
Do you
shitty
think
stuff.
like at Canadian customs they like breed some hateful Canadians just to work at the border? It's
Yeah.
like
They
we need some
absolutely
mean
do.
people to represent us and be tough guys at the border.
I think it's people who are from America that have moved to Canada at a very young age who they just like make customs borders.
There's some hard asses.
That's why I like going through customs in Austin. It was unlike any other customs
I
experience.
really
ever.
want to try it.
The one exception? Australia. Australia now is incredible for customs. You go, they have like a booth, you look into a camera, you show your passport, that's it.
No humans.
You're done. It's all automated.
I think that's just in Melbourne, or is that in Sydney yet also?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that in every city in Australia?
What am I going? Am I traveling internationally to every
Yeah.
city in Australia?
Yeah.
Nope. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's just in Melbourne so far.
No, but
It's better than our experience in Japanese customs when Gavin and I got SARS. Did I tell you that story?
No.
you had
It was
the,
it was
the
Nazi
needle.
life.
I had to fill out a customs form. You had to fill out the thing. Of course, we didn't have a pen. So I'm in the Japanese airport. I take the wrong turn. I'm in a dark part of the airport. And then I see one of those tables with the chained pens. And I have my little form. And I'm like in total darkness. And Gav's with me. I'm like, hold on, wait. I go, this pen won't write. And then I realized I had a thermometer. And we were in a quarantine section of the airport. And I was like, to Gavin, I was like, Gavin! I was so scared. I was like, Gavin!
Oh my god.
You know,
I filmed it because we put it out for RT Life, and as soon as I stopped recording, you were like, "Wait here, I'm going to go and wash my hands," and you
Did it ever
you
come out?
ran off. Yeah, didn't it?
yeah.
I don't remember. It's been so
I
long.
don't remember.
That's fucking
It was
funny.
this. It was like the whole airport, and then there's just one bit where all of the lights were off, and you couldn't even see to the back.
Why would
because
you
it was
go in
dark.
there?
Because we needed a pen.
Yeah, I
couldn't find a pen
the
anywhere
only
else.
pen I have in my possession stays in my backpack, so I know when I travel and I need it. It's like I know there's a pen right there
I'm the same
for
way.
filling out those forms. Like I couldn't find you a pen anywhere else except for that one in my bag, just for that purpose.
I'm gonna say
Every
my-
time I travel to the US, I have a special bag that I use, and it's got a pen in it just for that. Yeah.
Just for
It's
customs
so
forms?
fucking annoying. Like there's nothing worse on the plane when I'm done. People are like, hey, can I borrow your pen? Like fuck. Bring your own pen. This is my pen. My pen has my name on it. I was like, you
really?
keep that.
Does it
Yeah.
really?
It
I was like, you
would.
give me that back.
It's like math class all over again for Gus.
Did I tell you I almost didn't get let back into the U.S. one time after I traveled to Canada?
Why?
I forgot when you do your visa, you get like this whole booklet of stuff, papers, and like one is your approval form, which I was told you don't need anymore. once
Yeah.
you're approved. And all you need is your passport with your visa document inside. Not true. One time the Canadian border agent was just like, where's your, I think it was like I-94 or like W something form. And I was like, back in Austin? And he's like, well, you need it. And I was like, I don't have it. And he's like, okay, well, I'll let you through this time. But if you don't have it next time, you might have some trouble.
How the fuck can I remember you?
I don't have that. What are you talking about?
You're not NAFTA.
It's a Canadian thing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good. You have like a photo ID thing in your passport.
Yeah,
right?
they have records of you.
My visa in my passport is just like a filled out piece of paper that I wrote and stapled into my visa.
This picture, like, you could just write whatever, like, Barbara is allowed to enter the country.
Yeah.
Also make her queen. Like, look, it's in the passport.
No, it's like an I-94 form.
Also,
that
she gets a cookie. Everybody reads it like,
Every
oh,
time.
fuck.
Well, I used to
This is
get.
my Q72, whatever.
I used to get.
I can work.
I used to get the I-94 stapled in every time, and then whenever you leave, you have to give it to them. But they don't do that anymore.
Mine's just stapled in and they just stamp my passport each time and like write the date and that's it. I don't know if that's right, but that's what they do.
Mine, they stamp it and write the date, but there's no like. I don't have to give a form anymore. They don't use it.
We have to get, whenever we go to Australia, we have to get electronic visas. It's the only place I know where we have to do that.
Yeah.
I love New
ETS.
Zealand's policy that they have, which is when you show up into the country, you have to show the customs agent when you're coming in your ticket, that your departing ticket. So basically, all they want to make sure is you're leaving.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to our country. Now, show me that you're leaving and what day you're leaving. Like,
Yeah,
here's my
yes.
ticket.
America does that too.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I don't have to do it because I'm on a work visa, but as a tourist, you have to have a flight home.
I love it.
They
And you
have
have
to
to-
know when you're going to leave. Yeah.
You also have to show them how much money you have, because if they think if you just arrive with $20, they're like, how are you gonna afford this trip? You gonna work?
Wow. Yeah. When I wrote, we usually write for occupation, right? Filmmaker on everything. The only place where I've ever had any trouble with that is in New Zealand. Like, you're a filmmaker and you're coming to New Zealand for 3 days. It's like, yeah, we're going to visit a set. It's like, what set you want to visit? Like, I want to go visit The Hobbit. And they're like, oh, really? You're not going to work? It's like, no, I'm not going to work. And they're
For
like,
3 days? What are you going to do for 3 days?
there's jobs on this movie set that are 3
Yeah.
days.
Almost every job I did was like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, very specialized
Never
jobs.
mind.
Yeah. So they were tough, stringent about it.
Interesting. Yeah, I write filmmaker too, and I always feel like such a douchebag. It's like, I don't know what to write on that form.
I don't want the 20-minute
Just lie.
conversation.
Yeah,
Just be like AIDS researcher.
yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to lie, go into another country.
I totally do it. Whenever we go to RVBTO, they'd say, what are you going for? Business or leisure? And he'd say, oh, business. We're going to a fan event. And he'd sit there and explain stuff. It's like, they say to me, what are you going for? Business or leisure? I go, leisure. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to watch a movie. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
go through. And that's what we do.
It's so much easier just to keep it as simple as possible.
Just simple as possible.
So by the movie, you meant your movie.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's
go
like I
watch my
always
movie.
tell my kids, it's like, they're always worried about getting in trouble and stuff like that with like a cop or something like that. I'm like, you're not doing anything wrong. It's like, you know you're not doing anything wrong. So don't think you're going to get in trouble.
Right.
Because there's so many people that are doing stuff wrong that are
don't
they're
give a
actually
fuck.
worried about getting caught. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not going to get caught doing anything.
Yeah.
You're fine.
What are your kids not telling you?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It was
do they
like
tell
with the
the
speed
cops?
ticket, right?
Well, no. The big one was he ratted me out at the border.
Oh, at the border.
Yeah.
That's not true.
That's not true.
So the other day, I was browsing the internet, as I am wont to do,
Brag about it.
and I saw a little text ad, and it was like one of those weird text ads that I guess like minds your cookies or whatever, and it was like RT Podcast 21. And it had like a bunch of text under it, and I was like, oh, that's probably just like going through my cookies and my search history to find that, right?
Right.
And I like moused over it, and it wouldn't show me what it was linking to. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? And then I read the text, and I was like, we never talked about any of this stuff on the Rooster Teeth podcast. So then I click on it to see what it is. Rotten Tomatoes podcast.
Oh, really?
Rotten Tomatoes podcast is
yeah.
RT podcast. So thanks for stealing our name, fucking assholes.
April 11th, 2014.
They
That's
just
recent.
started this thing a couple months ago.
Dummies.
Oh, what a bunch
We're
of
almost at episode
scumbags.
300. Couldn't name it anything else.
Just
So
the
we haven't
tomato
been-
cast.
We haven't been RT podcast for all 300 episodes.
and to be fair, we haven't been RT podcast 1 in probably 5.5 years.
We're
so I
hashtag
guess you
RT
can have
podcast.
that. Yeah, we are hashtag RT podcast right now on Twitter.
If they looked it up, whenever you make a hashtag, you look up what it is already.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going to do hashtag
RTP
RT
or something.
We were going to do, remember, hashtag RT for all the journals. If you make a journal
Yeah.
on the site, but then that was Russian Today. We were like, no. we're not
Also,
gonna do that.
retweet is like on Twitter. You can't really do RT for anything.
It
or we can
sucks.
retweet.
Yeah.
I'm excited because that None of you
sound
guys.
excited.
What-
I don't even know what you're
I'm
talking about. You sound so
excited.
fucking excited.
Real fast before you say what you're excited about. So I think to honor them, we should call our TV and film podcast the Rotten Tomato or Rotten Tomato podcast.
Rotten tomato.
Rotten
Tomato.
Tomaco.
Okay. with it.
Tobacco.
Yeah.
What are we gonna call that?
Rotten Tomato.
Can you guys talk about any of the names that are in play right now?
I don't know what they are. Patrick's been
I
working
know
on that.
one name.
We
What?
probably shouldn't say it until we know.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna say? What are you excited
People will
about?
hear one they like, and then we won't use it.
Right. What are you excited about?
I'm excited. None of you guys played Abe's Odyssey on the PlayStation, right?
No, I didn't. Wait,
The-
Abe's Odyssey was on the PlayStation?
Yeah, and PC. It was on the first demo disc, which is why I played it.
I thought it was. Oh yeah. Okay.
It's like a remastered one coming out. Comes out tomorrow, I think. It's going to be the first game I play on PlayStation 4.
They
And
they
I'm
skipped the
excited.
entire previous generation, right? Like they had games on the
360 they had one.
PS2 and the Xbox. They had one on the 360.
Oh no, you're right. It was the original.
Yeah,
Xbox
Munch's
had
Odyssey was on the original Xbox.
Oh yeah. Christ, that was a long
They
time
skipped
ago.
a whole generation.
Sometimes I forget how old I am now, and it's yeah. I guess that was a whole generation ago.
You're wearing two different shoes.
He always wears those shoes.
No, you're wearing one American, one UK shoe.
I pointed it out to him the other day because I just wanted to let him know it didn't get by me. That
Yeah,
he was
that's
wearing
what
two
I'm
different
doing.
shoes. Yep.
Do people have to wear the same shoe?
No.
Usually that's how it works.
Kara says yes.
They're the same style, exact style. They just got
You
different
can't
markings.
even wear your own shoes that look like the exact same shoes that you're going to wear in a shoot.
If you watch in the World Cup, it seemed like that was the thing this year. Like everyone was wearing different shoes.
Yeah.
They're
It's
like
fine. I wear odd
the pink
socks.
and the blue were like the big shoe colors this year.
I wear odd socks all the time. As long as they're not different heights and you're not going to get like a hip problem, I think it's fine. Go for it.
Oh, all my shoes are different heights.
One-
These, I guess,
one
are the
foot in
same
each
make.
country.
They're both Converse, right?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Thanks, Barbara.
Here, let me read
Hey
this
Patrick,
thing.
I don't have email on this laptop, but somebody
What are you,
tweeted
Gavin?
fan art of Miles and Carrie crashing the bike on. It's at hashtag RT Podcast.
It looks
if you wanna
very
grab it.
romantic.
It's very nice.
Here, let me read this thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by Hover. When you have a great idea, you want to secure a domain name. When you have a great idea, you want to secure a domain name for it. You want something catchy and memorable to represent your online identity. Hover gives you exactly what you need to get the job done. You'll find the perfect domain for your idea so you can get started working on it and move on to the next thing on your to-do list. Hover gives you easy-to-use, powerful tools to manage your domain so that anyone can do it. You can get the perfect domain name, start building your web presence right away to take control of what people find when they search for you or your business online. Try Hover and get 10% off your first purchase by typing the promo code GRAPES. I put that one in there for you.
Hey, thanks.
People like grapes. Until September 1st, 2014, all the new domain name extensions are on sale. Summer's a perfect time to get started on a new project, so I want to give you some encouragement. Every single new domain is deeply discounted, so you can choose whatever one you want. Head over to hover.com to see the full list of new domains. There are hundreds of new options, lots of great domain names still available. Try Hover, get 10% off your first purchase by typing in the promo code GRAPES. 'Cause
These two
people like
have
grapes.
antics going on
Stop
during the
it.
ad
What the
read.
fuck are you two doing?
Antics.
He's trying to spill my beer. He's like reaching across the whole couch, and I had to go.
This
like
is great, this couch. If you spill beer on it, you'll end up with a ton of little shots. Because
I
of
have the old podcast couch in my office,
Yeah?
and I don't know if you
How
guys.
bad does it smell?
Well,
Stop it.
Barbara, you sit on the couch. I mean, every week, or you and all your cronies over here sit on the couch. Gus and I never sit on it. Don't you be insulted by the fact that you think the couch is dirty? Give me a beer.
I don't think it's dirty. Gus
Stella.
thinks it's dirty.
I'll take. I
It's
don't want
filthy.
that. I hate China.
See?
You'll
I
think
wanted that couch for our office.
that there were rats all over that thing. And
Such a jackass.
Nah. We
oh, is that the drawing?
that's it.
Someone draw Yvonne into that picture looking all mad.
Disappointed, not mad. Disappointed.
Yeah.
We have a sale on all glassware and cups in the Rooster Teeth store right now.
Yeah, so Emily wanted us to have all the cups out here, and Barbara and I are trying to brainstorm ways to sell the cups or to make a little mini ad for the cups. We thought about just like pouring shots into our mouth and like mixing drinks. We're like, there's got to be a better way than
Yeah.
just pouring these things straight into my mouth.
One of those really cheesy infomercials.
Like you're showing the wrong
Like
way. to
no
do
with the
it.
big red X on it.
Yeah. In black and white. And the
My favorite is the guy with the big bowl of Cheetos. He's got like 18 bags of Cheetos on the arm of his chair.
Yeah.
That he knocks over.
Then he hangs up the phone, right? That's
Right.
what happens. He hangs up his old phone. And it fucking sends the Cheetos flying everywhere.
Pour it
It's
into
like,
the
what's going on with your life that you're still using your fucking phone, like a home phone, and you've got a bowl of Cheetos that big?
So everything is 15% off for a week. So
The shirt of the day is good as well.
Oh, yeah.
Shirt of
Yeah.
the day.
That's
T-shirt,
T-shirt Tuesday. It's House Rooster Teeth.
I love it.
Game of Thrones.
I think we wanted to
Not
ask
really.
the audience what our
Not at all related.
what were we asking their house slogan? Not slogan.
Yeah, the house.
Words.
The words of the house. Like that is not on the shirt.
Right.
And I hadn't seen this shirt until it came out. So
See my cock.
there we go. See my cock. That's the.
What's Lannister's? Hear me roar.
We
Yeah.
should maybe
The Lannisters always pay their debts.
try to see who can come up with the best one. We'll send them a free shirt.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Hashtag RT Podcast.
Hashtag RT Podcast.
If you can come up with a good house slogan for Rooster Teeth, the style of like House Baratheon or like House Lannister. Lannister always pays its debts. Is that
No, theirs is
a
Hear
lot-
Me Roar.
Hear me roar. Right.
What
And-
about cockadoodle shirt?
You are ineligible to win because you're on staff.
I mean, that
Employees
was
of
pretty
Rooster Teeth can't
good.
win. What's the Baratheon one? Is it Ours is the Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a good memory. Yeah.
What's the Stark one?
Winter is
Winter's
coming.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were just always saying that to be jerks.
Theirs is weather themed.
Well, I don't know. You picked up Game of Thrones later than everybody else.
Yep.
Like you started watching, I think, season 2 or season 3.
Well, I actually listened to the Rooster Teeth podcast before I was at Rooster Teeth, and you guys would talk about Game of Thrones, and it made me want to watch it.
Yeah. Do you know that in Westeros, in the land of Game of Thrones, that winter is
Coming?
No, winter is longer. It's like
It's variable.
7 years. And it's variable too. Like a long winter could be 15 years or 20 years, and summer has lasted, I think, 9 years.
I
Yeah,
believe
what
so.
planet are they on? Where the
Just
They're
the
in
world
Hawaii.
is built.
is it Earth?
I don't know. I mean, I think so.
I don't know. I don't remember that in my history class growing up. The War of the Five Kings.
But there's enough stuff in it that makes it seem like Earth to me as well.
He might have mentioned it.
You're such a snarky bastard.
I'm just saying. Of course, it's not Earth. Or do you think it's in the future? That fucking George R. R. Martin's some kind of oracle telling us what's going to happen?
So they're all aliens then?
Sure. Okay. Nothing. You got nothing. Fucking dickhead. Don't talk to me like
Someone
I'm a
said the
goddamn
good one
idiot.
would be "fuck you, fuck us."
That would be good.
Science and dicks.
Yeah.
Fuck you, focus.
Man. So, I don't know why I'm thinking about this right now, but man, what the fuck is going on with that Malaysian Airlines flight?
The one that got shot down?
The one that got shot down?
What happened to it?
It got hit by a missile.
That sucks.
It's what's fucked up is if you look, I love like flight radar and websites like that where you can see like where all flights are at any moment. Like as soon as that happened, the entire eastern Ukraine just like whoop, like all the planes diverted around.
Yeah.
it.
I'm not surprised.
And if-
I also heard that the plane crash was looted immediately, and there wasn't like a wallet or a piece of jewelry in sight for miles.
Yeah, the people were just moving the bodies all over the place,
Yeah.
and it like there were armed guards out there who were keeping the international observers away for days and wouldn't let them get.
So it's
wouldn't let
just a
them approach the
regular
class.
passenger like Boeing flight.
It was a 777.
There was 100 top AIDS researchers on that plane going to a conference in Melbourne, and they got shot down. We lost like some of the greatest minds working on AIDS today.
Just because some prick shot down a plane.
We don't know. We don't know what happened. What's the prevailing theory at this point?
Missile. It's still a missile.
Russian missile?
They don't know. The surface-to-air missiles. All they've said. They
What
have.
does surface-to-air missile mean? Aren't all missiles surface-to-air?
No, there's air-to-air.
There's
Like missiles mounted on planes.
you can
Right,
shoot from
okay.
the sea as well. That's not surface.
See,
No, the
Sea's
sea
a
is
surface.
surface.
No, it's below the surface.
what is below the
Like
surface?
a sub would shoot one.
What about a ship on top?
I'm talking about a submarine
I
in
don't
the
think
ocean.
subs don't shoot missiles at planes.
Why?
They have.
They
they
have
can.
missile systems,
ICBMs.
but that's typically like ICBMs for like land delivery.
They also have to come to the surface to shoot the missile. They don't shoot the missile from under the water.
I think they can shoot some from
Get
underwater.
the
course they
fuck out
can.
of it. No, they can't.
Yeah, they go like.
Nah, that seems like
Once
it's,
you
the
add the
exact
sound
noise they
effects,
make.
yeah.
it's way too big
Makes
of a
it way more
variable.
believable.
I bet they have to surface. I don't know for a fact. I'm guessing
Here's what I think
that
happens.
a sub has to surface in order to fire a missile.
Torpedo comes out, right? And then as it hits air, it splits open and the missile shoots out.
I think that's exactly how it happens.
That could actually work. The way you described that, I would actually believe that would work.
Yeah, or you could
Alright.
like put it in a buoy of some kind.
Right now,
A
there's
boy.
military people in
Buoy.
our hashtag right now who are telling us how wrong we are about this, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's the great thing about a live stream and Twitter.
I did a game time with Josh that was very well received.
I haven't
That
seen
was
that
a
one
really
yet.
good
I
game
keep
time.
wanting to listen to it.
Yeah. I tried to cut it down, but it was like 57 minutes, but I
Which
just
Josh?
couldn't. Josh Flanagan.
White Josh.
White Josh,
Right.
not Black Josh. Yeah. He was busy working on RVB. It was that's the third of
Not busy
6 game times that I'm making with people who are working on Laser Team, and Josh was on the writing team in the initial first drafts of Laser Team. Him and Chris Damaris. And so he had a lot of. Josh was in Iraq, and he was in infantry in Iraq. Like he went into houses, like kicking down doors, and
And he served with Pat Tillman, right?
he did. He did. He was in basic with Pat Tillman. It's all in the game time, which you can learn about.
Ooh.
You know who Pat Tillman is?
No.
He was a football player for the Arizona Cardinals, and he left his football career to join the military after 9/11.
That's top.
And then was killed at friendly fire.
Shit.
Yep.
Top.
Friendly fire.
Yeah, it took him a while to figure that out too.
Friendly fire is such a, like, I don't know, it's like such a disproportionate word for what it
Yeah.
actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like the worst.
There's nothing friendly about
Game-
it.
No.
Game time is useful, especially for people at the company, because it's the only way I'm going to find out about these people.
Jesus. You wouldn't go talk to anybody? Like, you
Well,
would never talk to Josh?
Well, I can't ever walk up to Josh and be like, hey, stop what you're doing. Let's talk for like an hour. It's never going to happen.
Well, I mean, we could always do like more company stuff
Or
together.
you could
socialize.
talk many times for a couple of minutes, learn little by little.
Yeah, everyone's so busy. Nobody really jabs around except if you're Miles and Kerry playing on the bike.
Consensus is a sub does not need to surface to fire a missile.
There you go.
Point to Gavin.
Thanks.
I believed you.
Thank you, Internet.
I believed in you.
It might be called surface to air, though. Still.
It probably is.
Gavin doesn't get away with stuff that he's wrong about by immediately being right
So-
about something else.
So, like one of the things that struck me about this whole Malaysia Airlines thing is, it's suspected that, it was a Russian-supplied surface-to-air missile battery given
Right.
to separatists in the eastern Ukraine. Is like after this all happened, Vladimir Putin had that statement that was like, a tragedy like this should bring everyone together instead of making everyone point fingers. It's like, yeah, when you're the dude who fucking gave people the missile that caused a problem, of course you're going to say shit like this.
Yeah. Shot down a fucking passenger plane. That sucks.
It makes me think about, I don't know if you remember this, probably like 30 years ago, there was a Korean Airlines flight that was flying from New York City to Seoul. It had a layover in Anchorage.
Remember it really
and
well?
then between Anchorage and Seoul, the pilots went off course and
Yep.
flew into Russian airspace, and the Soviets scrambled fighter jets and shot it down.
Good Lord.
Yep, there it is. It was a 747 on its way from Anchorage to Seoul. There was a congressman from the United States on that flight, along with everyone else.
Anyone researching AIDS?
No, wait. It was in, I think it was in 83. It was before, either before AIDS existed or before people knew what
Yeah.
AIDS was.
But has the US ever shot down an airliner?
Yes. I'm looking
Like
it
a
up right now.
passenger flight?
Did we or did we not shoot down a plane? Was it an Iranian plane that we shot down, I want to say?
We did shoot something down.
And there was a big scandal because they were like, for footage, they were dumping bodies in the water from like the morgue. And so it was like a weird thing.
What would that look like?
It was a long time ago. Here's Wikipedia list of airliner shoot down incidents.
What
Apparently
would
this
that look
happens
like
enough.
to an alien? It sees this planet launching all these things, and the own planet shoots it down. It would be ridiculous to an alien, wouldn't
That
it?
would be pretty ridiculous. It's like, here, we put this thing into space, up in the air, and then
Successful
we
launch.
shoot it. It's like, whoa, how'd that missile come out of the water?
It was in July of
What's
88.
war?
That's not even a surface.
July of 88. It was Iran Air Flight 655.
And it was an Iranian one.
It was an Airbus 300, it looks like, shot down by the USS Vincennes.
Yeah, it was a ship. One of our ships shot down a.
It was
Christ.
a guided missile cruiser.
Yep. It was like an approach, and it was identified as an enemy and all that. And I mean, you have to admit when you make a mistake like that. I mean, I know people don't want it, but was it the Netherlands today officially opened a war crimes investigation into this?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, people don't when civilians get shot down by military entities, that's usually goes very, very poorly. Very poorly for everybody involved.
Yeah, apparently.
Netherlands opens war crimes investigation into MH17 airliner downing. This is from Yahoo.
Well, it's like, I mean,
Via Reddit.
It's not it's such a fucked up situation. I mean, if you're like in charge of those rebels who are, fighting against the Ukraine government, you got to know that this is it for you. Like now, the world has maybe ignored your conflict and stayed out of it is now going to actively interfere
Yeah.
and shut your shit down.
Yep.
Like you have definitely invited, the world's scrutiny and probably military intervention to go in and put an end to that conflict.
There's some right pricks on Earth.
If you're going to die in an air disaster, it seems like getting hit by a missile would probably be the most preferable way. There
It
was also
depends.
Flight
I think
800.
quick.
Remember TWA Flight 800? There's been a lot of speculation that was hit by a missile as well.
A lot of eyewitness accounts say that they saw a rocket trail go from the water up to the plane. I believe the official NTSB report on it says that was not the case, that it was a fuel tank.
It was a
vapor.
exposed wire that goes to the fuel tank, and they downed all those planes for a long
It was
time.
747s, I believe.
Was it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
They say that it was a spark in the fuel tank.
Yeah, let me look up Flight
I
800.
really don't like talking about this the day before I'm about to take like 2
Well, the
flights.
fucked up thing about
You actually never safer than after an accident.
Yeah, it's true.
That's not true at
and if
all.
you're flying Malaysia
That's
Airlines,
also not
the fucked up thing about a missile strike, especially on a plane of that size, is that it's not necessarily like
just
the
gonna
missile hits it and then
Yeah, it's going to
everyone
disable
dies.
the plane and make
right,
it
it's like the
crash.
plane's disabled, and you spend the next few minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, if they hit the wing, that's not a pleasant way to, because the wing's not going to kill you.
well, the fuels are typically stored in the wing. It depends. Like, was
The
there a
plane was
fire?
at,
huge
the plane was at
explosion.
35,000 feet. If the plane, in any way, shape, or form, if they penetrated the fuselage and there was an explosive decompression of that plane, there's a very good chance that most of those people immediately went unconscious.
That's true.
Immediately. Like, not enough chance for the oxygen mask to come down and even get it on or
Why
anything
would they
like
get,
that.
what, just because of the air?
Just it's
Well,
like,
you still got a lungful.
think about a massive change in pressure.
No,
It's
but
totally different.
The air comes out of you essentially, like it's forced out because of the pressure differential.
It could, I mean, not to get too morbid or gross or anything, but it could pop your lungs, actually.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So if you had a lung full of air, you'd be more screwed.
It's possible. It depends on how fast they decompressed. Yeah. We talked about the story one time on we're getting into morbid stuff here, but we got to talk about one time when remember was the guy who accidentally opened the chamber where deep sea divers were decompressing
Oh,
and they like
yeah.
shot out of it. Yeah, it's yeah.
Wait, what?
I remember that.
Yeah, it was bad for those people. They were like I think they were like at the equivalent of like 8 atmospheres.
Oh, yeah.
They were on their way back to
Pressure
normal.
difference is a big one.
Pressure difference is a very big
We also
deal.
talked about that Delta P
We
thing.
were recently on this party on a boat, and it started out by the dam on Lake Austin. And as soon as I saw that dam, I thought of that fucking Delta P video and that goddamn creepy narrator.
What is a Delta P video?
What?
Delta
You
P is-
remember
is
the
when
Delta
you,
P
like,
video?
unleash pressure that's locked up on another side, and it can either suck people in or.
Yeah.
And there's that footage of the crab
Yep.
where the saw like cuts into the pipe, but the pressure in the pipe is so different.
Yep.
That all the water goes, and the crab goes like.
Yeah,
hard
it
The
turns into,
Delta
like,
P video was
paper.
that like very crude animated video. It was like very rough, showing divers entering different Delta P situations.
It was all CG. It was probably like some poor animator in a basement somewhere. Like, what am I animating here? This is awful.
And
It's
then
not just
it's kinda
pressure
like-
either. It's temperature too. I mean, you're going from like normal room temperature to suddenly you're in like negative 40 degrees Celsius. Like
Well, pressure and
instantaneously.
temperature go hand in hand, typically, don't they?
Sure. Well, I mean, it could be. I'm not even saying it's a shock to people, and I'm not trying to make gross anybody out or anything like that. I'm saying it probably was if something hit that fuselage. I sincerely doubt that those people had a scary few minutes while they crashed the Earth. I think they were all probably out.
Fuselage.
The cabin
You said fuselage.
fuselage
Is it?
It's fuselage.
fuselage.
Fuse.
You fucking said it wrong.
What did I
Big
say?
deal.
No, that's the way I pronounce it.
Mayonnaise.
I say fuselage. Is it
Everyone's
fuselage?
talking weird today.
He also says both. It still drives me crazy.
I do pronounce that word wrong because I've always said it fuselage, but I guess it's fuselage. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuselage is the way I've always said it. I recognize that it's wrong, Gavin.
And buoy.
You love pointing when people say things wrong. Is that like a secret satisfaction of yours? You get off on that?
Because everyone here like says something a certain way, but then I'll make a good point on why it shouldn't be pronounced that way, and everyone's like, oh yeah.
I still
Like how you say buoy.
Was it wrong?
Buoy.
I said buoy.
Boy.
Boy. I said buoy.
It's not buoy.
How would you say it?
Buoy.
Is something that's floating buoyant? Or is there some buoyancy?
Is a buoy your boy?
You say boy?
It's buoyancy. Boy.
Nah, that's fine. It's buoy.
You're right. You just proved yourself right. Your excellent point.
yeah, I have to go with Gavin on this one.
Well,
I've
no,
always
but there's
said buoy,
lots
but
of
it doesn't
words
make
that are
sense.
like that, that when you break them down or make them a more complex word, they're not pronounced the same way. Lots of words are like that. We've talked about it before. I'm not going to come up with
Like?
one right now. I'm not going to be able to come up right now. But I know there's lots of words like that. We've talked about them before on the podcast.
I don't get urinal. I don't get that.
urine.
Because you don't say urine.
Some people do.
Yeah, but that is wrong. She got you there.
What,
She
urine?
fucking got you.
You
It's a
you
urinal.
don't say urine, but you say urinal.
I know a lot of people that say urine.
I've probably been on both
But
sides of
you
this
don't.
argument. I'm realizing that's the worst part of this podcast going on so long is I know I've been on both sides of this argument probably
Both.
many times. Both. I've been on both sides of a fuselage.
I like that was a joke in very early RVB where
What's up, money?
Griffin Simmons are talking about it.
What do you have?
Both?
I never
That's
noticed.
my buddy Jason Sugawa.
Oh,
That-
whoa.
remember that? Oh, Monty is
All
showing
the
us. Come on up
slogans.
here, Monty.
I'll do
Why are
it.
you showing us this?
It's all the slogans of Game of Thrones.
So hear me roar.
I was talking about jacking off to Jessica Rabbit too. You want to bring me something?
Hey.
We saw a
Molly
picture of
brought
her.
us a Game of Thrones poster that has the slogans: "Winter's coming," "Fire and Blood is a Targaryen
Hear me
house."
roar. Growing strong.
We do not sow.
That's the. I thought it was what can dead can never die.
No, that's just what they say all the
That
time.
which is dead can never
What
die.
a lame slogan. Winter is coming.
We do not sow. That is the Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Well, no.
SOW. That's a great shot of Burnie right
Or
there.
SCW.
Hi. Growing strong, Tyrell. Not all that's wrong. All right, I'm glad we didn't do it now. Oh, I bent your poster. Sorry, Monty. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I'll fuck it up more. There.
There you go. Perfect.
Nice.
That's the
and
problem
neat.
when you're dealing with a coffee Bernie. He's an unknown factor.
That's
You're
fine.
bending posters,
That's fine.
scaring children. So this week's San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, is that even on anybody's radar anymore?
I'm sure it's on Aaron and Kara's
Fucking
radar
hate Comic-Con.
because they're going.
Yeah, we're sending
Comic-Con was
Aaron and Kara.
by far my least favorite convention of
Comic-Con's a
all
piece
the
of shit.
conventions to go to.
It's
Sucks.
It's different now though because we
It
just
is?
go to sign. We don't actually set up the booth anymore.
yeah,
There's
but it's
too many
still,
people
but the
and it's like
convention
5
itself
days.
is still just like a cattle call.
Yeah.
It's just like, wall to wall, massive people who only care about seeing a celebrity or getting some stupid fucking autograph.
It's like what 130,000 people.
It's something ridiculous like that. Waiting in line for.
Too many.
We had a thing
For all
at
the
Comic Con
stuff.
once where back when the RVB DVDs weren't all in a box set, they were in individual cases. Sometimes a disc would come loose as we were unpacking it, and we wouldn't sell it to people because chances are it's been loose for a long time and it was rattling around. So we just set them aside and we threw them away. And we watched some guy take a bunch of loose disc RVB cases and just start selling them at his booth within eyesight of our booth. So for the next day, whenever we would find a disc that was loose, we would just smash the shit out of it.
Yeah, it sucks. Like as a result of that, like to this day, when we encounter those, like we have to make sure we destroy.
Yeah,
the
I've
disc.
put my foot through probably like 100 RVB DVDs,
Yeah.
and it was sad every time.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's like we don't want to sell it to someone because it's most likely scratched.
Yeah.
And it's gonna like fuck up when you're playing it. But this other person will take it
And just sell it. Yeah.
and then the customer still has a negative experience, but it's got our name on it. So
Yeah.
it's
And
like
he
it's
took
bad
it out
for
of the
us.
trash. He's selling trash.
Yeah, it's like so of course we're gonna destroy it just to make sure that
Yeah.
people get something decent.
But that
Really fucked up.
that summed up Comic Con for me. It's just like a bunch of scroungy pricks.
We're gonna be at a lot of events this summer.
Yes,
We have Comic Con, PAX Prime,
Fan Expo.
Who's going to PAX Prime? Do we know yet?
I don't know. I gotta chat with Matt about that and figure out what we're sending. All we know is we just figured out San Diego Comic Con right after RTX.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Kevin Pereira said the best quote about Comic Con because when you're walking in Comic Con, it's wall to wall people, and then also people will just fucking stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll be walking along, and the people in front of you, they just stop dead in their tracks, and they look at
It's
something
like
like
nobody has any self-awareness at Comic Con.
this. No, there is none of it. And Kevin Pereira said it best. He said, "People at Comic Con walk like old people fuck." And I thought, that's perfect. That's the perfect description of what it's like
They're
trying
like
to walk.
going.
Yeah,
Stop.
that's just it's terrible and
They probably
awful.
make that noise too. But there's also a fan event, RBB UK, which I think is August 1st, that they requested that we talk about. So if you're in the UK, you should go to that. Great fan event.
We're not going to that.
We're not going to be there. But
Just to be very clear,
the
Just hates
community will
England.
be there.
Where is it in the UK?
it's in Rainyton.
I don't know. There's a Twitter, RBB UK. So I think
know,
the
right out
official
of-
Summer right
Right
now.
out
It's
of
probably
Pittsburgh.
some.
Let me look it up.
I'm not. I
How do you
apologize.
pronounce that? Leicester?
Leicester.
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 Bernie Burns has been to Leicester,
I have been to Leicester.
and you also called it Leicester.
Leicester.
That's what I just said. I didn't know.
See, there you go.
Leicester.
Makes sense.
That was when
Leicester.
you sat down on a chair that
Yeah, you're
wasn't
so
there.
fucking happy about that. You're so fucking happy. So happy for you, Gavin.
Sit down and what?
Yeah,
Do you not like laughing at
I
your
brought-
friend's misfortune?
what's that?
Do you not like laughing at your friend's misfortune?
Yeah, once. I don't need to do it every fucking time the goddamn city comes up. I had a habit, Gus, of when I would get a speaking engagement in the past, I would always tell them I needed somebody else from Rooster Teeth to come with me, because then somebody else would get a trip out of it as well.
Right.
You'll notice I don't do that anymore. I stopped doing that a long time ago, because whoever came with me,
You do it with me sometimes.
I do it with you sometimes. But I actually make you actually come and present something as well, typically. Whereas before, everyone who came with me would just not. I brought Jason all the way over to Leicester, which is north of England, right?
Get middle. Well, yeah.
Wait, north of England.
North of London. Okay. I said England, I meant London. North of London. And so we went there. Jason, there was a panel, and then there was a podium where the presenter was going to be, but there was no moderator for it. So Jason, the guy who plays Tucker, we all lined up and sat behind the panel table. Jason sat behind the podium, like sat down in his chair and moved it behind the podium.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
He was blocked by the podium, and he just sat there the entire time and didn't answer any questions.
I'm pretty sure he was texting me at the same time. We were just like talking.
Yeah, and then what was I doing? Why did I stand up?
You stood up to give the speech, and then you sat down at the end.
But some other guy started talking.
Yeah. The moderator guy started talking after he came up. The host.
Yeah.
And you tried to sit down quietly because he was talking. And
I was going to defer to him.
You didn't sit down very quietly at all.
Because I went to go sit down because he started talking like he was giving like the final announcements. And I was like, oh, he's going to say something. So I was like, I'll get out of the way. And I'm gonna sit down. And while he'd been standing up, Jason had taken my chair and moved it out of the way. So I went down like a ton of fucking
no.
We were talking about earlier how you could die just from being stood up. I'm surprised you didn't die. It was a hell of an
Did you
impact.
just like fall right on your tailbone?
It was on a wood stage is what it was like.
Ben and Gavin talked about the noise. They were so happy about it because it was echoing in this like theater. Yeah.
It's like that old Far Side where the bird is pleased at the cat, the dog, and the person all hitting their head at the same time. It was like what a pleasing sound that all makes.
Yeah.
I had that. I literally did that today.
You missed a chair.
There was a chair at this resort that we were in where it was like an A-frame like this.
Were you in Mexico today?
I was in Mexico today. I left there this morning.
You got a little tan?
I did. Got a little bit of color.
You go on the beach?
Yeah. And then let me finish
That's
my
what you
story.
do.
So there's an A-frame for the chair. It's like this, and then the top of the chair sat on top of it like this, except it didn't sit like this. It sat like this. So most of the chair was off the support of the legs. So when I sat on it, I went down, and the chair went up over the top of me and like over my head like that. And everybody in that resort came running. But that chair was fucking designed to do that.
Was Ashley there?
Yeah, she was there.
So she saw that?
She did see it, and I love that girl to death. What'd she do? She goes, ho! She just points and laughs.
Good. That's the only appropriate reaction from Ashley I could imagine.
Yeah, because here's what I sat in it. I fell flat on my butt, and the chair went out and then over, and then it went over my head like this. And I'm looking at Ashley through like the back of the chair,
like you're in jail all of a sudden.
On my ass sitting there, and she's laughing, and everybody came running over.
It was practice for your trip through customs later.
It was.
Do you suffer from embarrassment anymore?
No, not really.
I don't get that anymore. Like, I used to get embarrassed about like making mistakes or being clumsy.
I don't
do it anymore.
It's been years since I felt embarrassed up until or nervous about going out and doing something in front of people. I got nervous before we did our At Midnight taping.
That was scary.
Yeah, that's like the first time in years I've been like, I'm a little nervous about what I'm about to do.
But
just
that's
it's
like live television. Or...
Well, no, it wasn't live, but still something different, something...
Are you nervous about going on the radio tomorrow?
That's next week.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not, but we're going to be on the radio.
We're going to be on a morning show.
People listen to the radio still?
I guess it's still a thing.
These guys, Dudley and Bob, they're like an Austin institution. They've been around forever. I was on their show when I was in college for the schedule.
Oh, crap.
So they're not going to remember that.
What are they interviewing you about?
RT. Because they've been reading so much about us. There's been a lot of press about us lately. And they're like, get these fucking guys on the show. Talk to them. Yeah. So
we'll be there.
Guys.
Next week sometime. We'll talk about it more once we have some more details.
I'm going to try not to swear.
I
It's a
saw
weird
you
thing to think
embarrassed.
about.
Oh,
It's a weird thing to
I
think
had not
about.
even thought about that.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're going to be on live broadcast. FCC.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Get
Get
it all
out now. Yeah, go.
But I did not worry about it midnight at all because I knew they could tape us and bleep us and
Yeah,
edit.
they told us, if you're going to say something, just say it.
It's a morning show?
We'll cut it. Yeah.
Do you ever say the C word?
Yeah, of course. I love the C word.
Go for it.
Coffee.
The feedback that I got from Midnight was like, you said anal on TV. They were really like, I got a lot of feedback about that.
Yeah, everyone was like, I can't believe you talked about your dick on TV. I was like, I talk about my dick all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it's on TV, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, people were really freaked out by our
People
approach.
that watch me on the internet and I do it on just a slightly different screen and they go crazy for it.
Yeah, it's probably the same screen now. I mean, really.
You pull your dick out before we start the podcast and you put it up
Every
at the
week.
last second.
Every week, yeah.
He's got his knob out.
And no one freaks out about that.
No.
You showed it to me again, right?
So
You're getting more and more brazen with it.
Right before I go boop.
No, I tried to paddleboard this time. It seemed like, just stand on the surfboard and fucking paddle. That's a fucking bitch, dude.
Paddleboard, is that the...
That's a really hard exercise.
Where you just stand, it's like a bigger surfboard, and you stand on it, and then you have a
have a thing.
long...
Your
So it's
core
like
has to
thing
be
to
like
do that.
It's
fucking
like
rock
punting on
solid.
waves.
my core felt fine. I just literally was just like, it was a balance thing. It just took me like, I probably fell off it about 15 times. I did. And it was just like, I was like, I'm going to get this right. And I was just like, you don't have to. I'm totally just now, I want to get this right.
Did you get it?
I did. I got it by the end of it. But it was a good 10 minutes of just like, okay, I think a whoop.
Yeah,
right in the water.
I tried skateboarding when I was a kid, and I was like, I just keep falling off, and I really hurt myself every time. I'm not doing this anymore. I gave up.
Is there one thing you want to learn how to do? Like a skill like that?
Wow.
I've always wanted to learn how to surfboard.
Yeah. Ashley can surf.
Yeah.
She would go surfing, like she said, once every couple days in Australia.
Believe it or not, I used to surf in Puerto Rico.
Really?
Really?
I took surfing lessons from a guy. I was like, oh, okay, I can do this.
I've always wanted to surf. And that's a life goal of mine, is to learn. So
It's
maybe you could teach
a
me.
really
Fucking
easy life
hard.
goal.
It's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass. It sucks.
What,
I just feel
surfing?
like it would be so much fun.
Surfing is not an easy life.
No, I'm
like,
saying to achieve that would be
like
easy. Just
swimming.
go.
Like if all your goals, surfing is like up there.
Yeah,
It's just, like,
just go to a coast.
Well, I'm assuming you
Learn
want
how
to be good
surf.
at it. You don't
Yeah,
want
no, I don't want to just like get on the board one time and be like, okay, I'm done. I want to like actually be good at it.
What
a
shocked
really-
me the most the first time I did it is like paddling out
Yeah.
to get to the wave. I was like, I'm already exhausted.
Yeah.
Ashley said the same thing.
I haven't even gotten there. You're like, fuck, how am I going to do this over and over?
This is all
Fuck yeah.
arms when you're doing that.
Yeah, and I got these little fucking stick things. This is not good.
Jordan's drawings are accurate.
Yeah, it's just like an animated adventure.
Plus, surfing's one of those things now. There's like only a limited geographic range in which you can do it, and there's a lot of people that do it.
And
so
a limited time.
Well, it's
too.
like it's always packed everywhere. You want to go like surfing is like has reached some kind of critical mass. Like it's hard to find places in the world where you can go surfing where there's not already like 30 or 40 people out there waiting for a wave already.
I'd be worried about killing someone,
Yeah.
like surfing someone's head off.
You'll do fine though, Barb. Ashley said, I said, would you have trouble like catching a wave because there'd be other people out there? She goes, yeah, it was packed all the time. And she goes, but they would always let me catch a wave. She goes, because then they get to look at my butt. And I was like, it's because yeah, everybody wins. So that's like it
the
makes
benefits.
sense.
The
Yeah.
benefits.
I want to pilot. Like I want to fly a plane.
Yeah.
But
Why
do
don't you
that
take pilot lessons?
Esther says she will kill me if I try to fly a single engine plane because she says that those things crash all the time.
No, just do
You
it.
won't crash a plane.
Just
you will
don't
not
tell
do it.
her. Just go and take up a hobby.
Just wait
I'm
until
gonna
you're
go
really
do
old.
something right now. I'll be back in a few
Make
months,
something up.
I guess.
You've been married for like what, a decade? You've lied to her
much.
before.
You come home with like those old-fashioned goggles on your head in the
Where
cab.
have you been? Oh, like you forget. They busted. I wasn't flying. I swear. I was playing a flight simulator.
Yeah.
I
was
imagine you
playing
lied
dress
to her
up.
all the time.
No, God no. God no. What the fuck's wrong with you?
She's all he has.
That'd be high up on my list of stuff I want to do. Probably.
Flying?
Yeah.
I feel like I could do it.
Weren't we going to do that once upon a time? Do pilot lessons and that?
Maybe.
Or like,
Weren't you gonna learn how to drive?
oh, that was it.
That was it. We were going to see if I get a pilot's license before Gavin got a driver's license.
Oh.
And I totally could have done it.
Well, you still have time.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
longest play RT life ever.
we're getting close to wrapping up here.
No,
Is
we're
there anything
not.
else
What does the
you
internet
wanna-
say
You want to bring
before
up?
Hey, so after this, do we know if the episode of Red vs. Blue is up?
It is.
It is. So after this, people can go watch the new episode of Red vs. Blue.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
after
yeah.
that, watch Dan vomit.
Oh, yeah. Maybe in that order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd hate to take people out of the loop.
Do the vomit like last in your night.
I showed both of you guys in my office, and you both
Oh,
had the same
how great
reaction.
would it be if like Games had sponsored that video? Because then like every time he throws up, he'd be like,
All right.
I gotta get that. I'm not kidding. That I know they're a sponsor of our podcast, and it seems like a placement. But when Gus showed me that freaking monitor they have, that's
Yeah, like when I
Cannot
first
wait
showed
to
it
get
to you
that.
guys, I didn't give you any context. I was like, just look at this and see what this is, and everyone was like super amazed at it. This thing's fucking cool.
Have you shown Ray?
I don't think I've shown him.
Guys.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching.
Oh.
Wait.
Should we say Ruby?
yeah. Ruby.
Yeah.
Is this Thursday?
Ruby premieres this Thursday, 5 p.m. for sponsors, 7 p.m. for
5 p.m. Central?
Central. Yes,
For
7 p.m.
sponsors.
Central for the
Yeah,
public.
this would be Ruby Volume 2,
Yes.
Episode 1.
So the people at RTX got to see it. It's amazing. I'm not biased at all. I'm very biased.
She's a little biased. That's
but
okay.
it was fantastic. So
All
tune
right.
in.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back on Wednesday with an episode of The Patch for our sponsors, and then next Monday with another episode of RT Podcast for our sponsors.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Rooster Teeth.
Headlight fluid. headlight fluid.
Metric.
Headlight fluid.
Metric. Metric.
Headlight fluid.
Metric.
Headlight fluid.
Top off the headlights. Metric. Metric.
Headlight